All right, so then go right here, bro.
All right. Number one, I love the Bible. I love correcting some of you dumb Negroes about this Bible. That's what I do. That's my job. You know, because a lot of y'all don't really know the Bible. Y'all just read it, but you don't read into it and you don't understand it. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to help you understand the Bible. All right? Understand everything that I know. What? The Most High gave it to me, right? The Most High gave me that knowledge. He gave me the information. The Most High knew exactly who I was going to be before I came out of the womb. Am I correct? So why y'all getting mad and hating on me? That's like you getting mad at Satan, the devil, when Satan does everything that the Most High asks him to do. How can you get mad at Satan? In fact, Satan is a loyal soldier more so than you Hebrews or do any of you Christians, because you teach that Satan cannot do nothing without the power and authority without the Most High consent. So it is the Most High that gives Satan the power to do what he do. It is the Most High who sent Satan down to the earth to claim souls and to take souls. This is what you teach. So you can't have it both ways. Check. Another thing. Satan can only kill with permission. This is what y'all teach. 1 minute you mad at Satan for following the rules and laws and orders of the Most High. How can you be mad at Satan? See how dumb this little nigga Tory is, y'all? He ain't, I told you, once you become myopic and in a box, anything that people bring to you, you will not adhere to it. He showed you who wrote the New Testament. He showed you what he said about the New Testament. And this little nigga still up in here saying God said this and God said that. These niggas are just retarded, man. These little niggas are just retarded. He ain't go and look up what Shaka said. He didn't say, well, let me see if Shaka telling the truth and do me some research. This dumb, stupid little nigga comes back with God said this and yeah, and God put all nations together and made them different. Like, nigga, shut up already, man. Just shut up, nigga. Damn. Slit your wrist or something, nigga. Because you're poison to the youth, man. You already poison to the other youth that's coming up looking around you. You probably trying to teach your friends this shit. Nigga, slit your wrist already, nigga. Get it over with, nigga. All right, peace and black power family. Welcome to another Sarnetta TV House of Consciousness production. You already know what it is. This is your brother Sarnetta. I am your host, and I'm bringing in another heavy hitter. You brothers and sisters better be ready when we build this wall, this comedic wall. Oh my God, ain't nothing stopping. We bringing in another young brother. He's a scholar. You one leave, 5 more come in. Reggie leave. 5 more come in. You know what I'm saying? Garfield leaves and turn his back on Kemet. 10 more come in. We already got Chris Harris. We bringing in another brother who is awesome, who is powerful. I would say I don't know, between him and Jabari, I would say they probably right here until I see the brother's work and ethic, and if he can handle the ring, getting in, or the battlefield or whatever, anybody that come at him, if he can deal with that pressure, I think he can, because he's Kemet. And so without any further ado, I bring to you my brother Shaka in the building. What's up, Shaka? He runs the channel of Ma'at Forever. So if y'all are aware of that, make sure you go and subscribe to Ma'at Forever channel. Go over there and show some love for our brother. Peace and black power to you. Hotep. Shaka, what's happening, man? Unmute yourself.
Hotep Sen-E Sarnetta,
Yeah.
thank you for the invitation.
I just want to greet the people as I usually do. Hotep Senu, Hena Senut, Iti, Ren Ishaka and Gukemet. I hope you're doing well. Bonjour, Sak Passe, Mote, all that good stuff.
Damn, don't y'all hear that? Don't that sound beautiful to your ears, man, right there? Just to hear him go in on that. I know he dealing with knowledge, man.
Have you ever met Theophilus Benga?
No, I've seen him. I've seen him, but I'm not acquainted with him.
Well, you seen him on YouTube?
But brother, you like to say I know him and him. In 30 years, you don't have a book, you don't have a website, you don't have a platform. You have to go on other people's platforms. So you can talk all you want that you were acquainted with whoever. It doesn't hold any bearing with your scholarship.
Listen, I think everybody knows my work. You're just being introduced. Okay?
What is your work? You've been carrying their suitcases. You went errand and bought them drinks and coffee and tea. Everybody can do that. That's why I nickname you Butler.
So Sarnetta, so you allow this person to talk about, I carry Sarnetta's bags and suitcases.
So you are Butler for Sarnetta as well. It's good to know. I didn't know that.
Yeah. So
and Sarnetta called you the B word. You did not object. You don't have any background.
You know.
Here's the picture that he showed on the screen. It's a deity El, the god El. Pay attention to the crown or the headdress, if you will. This is a picture from the front of the same statue, a little closer, and a little bit from the side here. Now, this headdress is actually the Atef crown. If you go on Webster's online dictionary, that's what it says. Atef is the specific feathered white crown of the Egyptian deity Osiris. It combines the head jet, the crown of Upper Egypt, with red ostrich feather for the Osiris cult. The Atef crown identifies Osiris in ancient Egyptian painting. If you go to Webster's dictionary, Merriam-Webster, it says Atef, hold on, a tall crown with a long feather on each side, shown in the art of ancient Upper Egypt as worn by Osiris. Okay? Here you can see Osar or Osiris with the Atef crown. This is from the papyrus of Nebket. It's actually in the Louvre Museum, and you can see me filming that papyrus on the video entitled Reality Check. Why black people ain't going nowhere. But you might as well put Afro Style Reality Check. It's going to come up. And in here, it's also from the Louvre Museum. You have Osiris in the middle with the Atef crown, and the description for it, if you go on the website of the Louvre Museum and you type Royal and Divine Triad, you can do a search and you will see they mention that he is actually wearing the Atef crown. Now finally, you can compare the crowns. Okay, first you have the god of the Arabized Negroes, which first is El, but somehow, some way becomes Allah. But that's up to y'all. That's up to the doctor. And then you have the one that I showed you, Osiris. Then again, from the front, compared with another statue of Osiris. And then finally, the same statue from another angle.
Biblical king's seal discovered in dump site. This is the royal seal of the king Hezekiah, and here we have an ankh. And finally, last but not least, you need to see it to believe it. The God of the Bible, El, slept in his own dung and urine. This is Ugaritic narrative poetry, page 195. And we also have this book here, the Masria in the prophetic literature, where it clearly says that El floundered in his own feces and urine.
It's a bit loud, isn't it? Yeah, it went up. I don't understand that thing. One, two. Oh. Hope you're doing well. The title of this live stream is Elijah Muhammad's teaching. Actually, I should add a teachings. Please correct it on YouTube. I think I said it, but just in case, Hotep Senuhena Senut I Tiren Ishakan Gukemeta. Hope you're doing. Okay. I'm gonna make some commentary about the discussion that I had with a sister who was born in the nation of Islam. Afnan Shabazz. Now, first, Love Me was in the place to be. Donnie Williams was in the place to be. Dissenter was in the place to be. Right? Saab makes a fool of himself. No need to twist or edit. To wish death of a young, to tell a young brother to commit suicide, man. Young her was in the place to be. Tory is in the place to be. You tell Judah Naz that I said he was pseudo, brother? Did you ask him, did you tell him that he is welcome to come on the panel? What did he say? I'm curious. Why am I saying that Judah Naz is pseudo? Because he said that Amin Ra comes from India. I have him on tape. Nothing personal. It's about what he teaches. You know, I don't know the man. You know, could it be that there's a tranny hanging in his house? You know, but each his own. You know what I'm saying? Love Me for wrote, for the record, I carried important people's bags, including mine. Well, you carried important people's bags, but you didn't claim to be as important as those people. You didn't claim to have the credentials or the knowledge of those people Butler Reggie, because he served tea and coffee to those scholars, he act like he's a scholar when he's a pseudo. Why am I saying that Reggie is pseudo? What did Reggie say? What did he say? Did I say it or did he say it? What did he say? What did he say?
Yeah. I mean, his Pharaoh could have been a Greek, but I don't.
Well, I tell you what, Heru was Greek.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, because one of the stories of Heru being conceived is during the Greek time period.
You know, I wouldn't mind having those dogs so I could hit the button and goes, pseudo. You know what I'm saying? So, what else? Ken Harris wrote, what if Allah sends a messenger like Abraham or Moses today? Would everyone believe and follow what he say? How would you know? And nobody gonna do it. It took too long. No one will trust in reality. We're too involved in colors. Even is in a place to be hotep to you. This entire road, I'm not following no one. Either we walk together or I go my own way. Damn it. Texas Bama is the place to be. No one wrote, no one mentioned that Farrakhan is Jamaican on last night's live. No, not Jamaican. Is it St. Kitts and Nevis? Oh, actually, you're correct. The mother was from St. Kitts, while the father was Jamaican. All right. I mean, I don't know about the ethnicity of his father. Has anybody seen his father's picture? I think his mother's picture is around. But he was born in America, so people will be like, it's all good, you know. Talking people will set trip about the geographic location of individuals, but hey. Also, sorry to observe this Hispaniola war between Shaka of Haiti and Scamchera of Dominica Republic. Are you kidding me? No name. It's not a Hispaniola war. You ever heard Frankie representing for the Republic, the Dominican Republic? Scamchera is xenophobic, and he allows xenophobia on his channel. I was told he talked about my mom and dad and said that they were liars, and he even said that poor French people are liars. And I'm like, wow. No, it's not even a war. It's me being a real brother, having my neck on that bitch brother called Scam Cheddar. You know, the dude is a punk, he's a sucker, he's a liar. You want an example of him lying?
You ain't got no proof, nigga, that I went to the hospital and they all told me I had AIDS. I went to like 4 hospitals, and the hospitals was telling me that I had AIDS. AIDS.
That's an example. Claims that the person has no proof, and then we have him on tape saying the same thing that he claimed the other person has no proof of. But anyway, at the beginning, I played the excerpt where he said, he loves the Bible.
All right, so then go right here, bro.
All right. Number one, I love the Bible. I love correcting some of you dumb Negroes about this Bible. That's what I do. That's my job. You know, because a lot of y'all don't really know the Bible. Y'all just read it, but you don't read.
All right. So now let's listen to what he said about the God of the Bible. It's going to be something, man. Hey, prepare yourself.
Shaka, all these niggas sleep with each other's wives, brother. All of them. Our brother, me and Quana ain't beefing, but
Wives?
Quana,
You mean wives, daughters?
no, they sleep with each other's wives. Like, say a Hebrew Israelite is married to one of these brothers, and she breaks up with them. Next thing you know, she's with the other Hebrew Israelite. The mighty Hebrew, brother Zabak, and brother Quana had the same wife at one time, at one point in time. Now, this is common knowledge, so I'm not banging on my brother Quana. Everybody knows this. See? So that's why when you look at it, you got to be like, come on, man. All they do is bang on each other. I don't care about that shit, you know? Because I know you are fucking men who make mistakes. You are just men who make mistakes like everybody else, brother. There's nothing special about you because you following some spook-ass God, some God who we know is narcissistic, who's demonic, who's a goddamn liar, who's bipolar. The God of the Bible is a bipolar motherfucker.
Dang. The God of the Bible is a liar and is a bipolar mother. How can you say you love the Bible and you say that as well? I know some groupies will find some excuses, but I would like those groupies to come and explain to us how it is cool, okay, acceptable for scam chatter to tell a young brother to slit his wrist and get it over with. But I'll share the link later on. Okay. Andrew Brunet isn't the place to be. No Name wrote, now tell that to the Muslim sister who said Mr. Jamaica has a hypocrisy is extraordinary. Learn something new every day. We all agree with you, Shaka. Even if people don't agree, it's cool. Even if they disagree, it's cool. Now, live stream. I'm gonna close a few windows. Oh, that's the first link. Okay, great. I'm sharing the title and the link to the video. I have the timestamp ready. Andrew Bennett wrote, yeah, yes, I'm in a place to be tonight. Tonight! I know it's not nighttime in America, but hey, it's nighttime here. No Name wrote, without Bible, God, scam cheddar, and house of conscious mess, brother, with an M, not an N, would have nothing to debate. So you have the link here. That's is it yesterday or the day before yesterday? But anyway. And before I forget, how could I forget? We have, oh man, there's already some for the females. The brother is quick. You even have caps. Damn it, man. If I knew, man, I would have placed my order at the same time for the cap. Dang. Okay. And I wouldn't mind a mug, so when I'm drinking, you can see. Check this out, man. That link right there. FSA Cheddar TV. Stand up against all black men who think they can cyberbully people into silence. Stand against YouTube channels that promote pedophilia, rape, xenophobic, anti-blackness, anti-African, misogyny, and scamming. Look at this. Even the sisters can be fly. T-shirt, hoodie,
slim hoodie, larger hoodie, hot. If the sisters want their pink on, they have the pink there. You know, t-shirt, you name it. There's so many colors. Got this. Oh, it's not changing the color. Okay. But on the t-shirts, it is changing the colors. I mean, on the hoodies. Let's see about the shirts. See? Have different flavors. Dark chocolate, royal, dark heather, charcoal, military green, Irish green, azalea. I didn't even know azalea. Carolina blue, sport gray, sky, light blue, ash, cocaine. I'm sorry, white. Hoodie. Is it sharing? Yes, it is. Black, white. You know what I'm saying? Ladies t-shirts. Ladies shirt. Okay. The color is not changing yet, but oh yeah, yes, it is. It is. See? Poppy. Heather red, berry. Heather mauve. Leaf. Athletic heather. Heather stone. Heather Princeman lilac. Lilac. Pink. Heather Princeman natural. Citron. Well, really, it's French for lemon. Citron. And snowflake. Heron. I mean, white. Okay. And you do have a special promo code. You're going to get 10% off on the Spell It Right. Code. Um, code. Tonight, indeed. You can get it tonight. Donnie Williams is asking how much the shipping. It was saying on the how do you call it, the checkout, but I ordered mine already. Finally, about it today. Ordered it today. Can't wait to display it. I'm going to be fly with that one, man. Got to get your gear on, man. So remember the code here. See, remember the code. Love me for road. I check that Irish green. You know what I'm saying? Haha, you're doing too much. They're looking fly. Damn it. I want one. Terrence Road, getting notifications late. Hey, you know, it's a bit difficult for YouTube to notify everybody. I mean, you know, so many subscribers, but the most important is that you are here. Your face looks familiar. Maybe I've seen one of your video. Let me see. No, somebody else, because there's no video on the channel. Okay. Now, no names wrote, please release a zippy down. Some of you may not know what the zip it down is, you know. I gotta look for it, man. Which video was it? Which video was it, damn it? Okay, yeah, hold on, if I put the part one, it is a part one. Ever heard of a dude called Trackfield or Trashfield? Some of you may know him as Garfield Reed. He has a song with some strange lyrics. I'm gonna let you hear it, but let me finish that comment. So please release a zip it down hoodie with a zipper for the ladies. From reverse side, you'll read, hands off your pants. What you got? Well, the CUM, we might not put him on a clothing, but we got your cat image and lasagna instead of the rat. But the problem is that Garfield the cat, he's copywritten, so maybe a different cat, some Hello Kitty cat would suit better for him. But so for those who don't know what zip it down is, we're not making it up. Who said it? He said it. And as a matter of fact, I'm sharing it's right at the start of the video. Zip it down. Nowhere to find it. On the cheer up, being down and low, will always be there to cheer you up. Come on.
Slow it down if you wanna last. Last time you walk it while you come too fast. Sit it down and drop your pants. Drop too quick, you never get another chance. Slow it down if you wanna last. Last time you walk it while you come too fast. Sit it down and drop your pants.
What is that? What the fuck is?
Should I do it one more time for the road? Man, I'm in a good mood, man. Mellow mood, man. Go ahead, Garfield. What are you singing about? What are the words, though? Zip it down. You do what too fast? Pull down your pants? Who are you singing to, man?
Slow it down if you wanna last. Last time you walk it while you come too fast. Sit it down and drop your pants. Drop too quick, you never get another chance. Slow it down if you wanna last. Last time you walk it while you come too fast. Sit it down and drop your pants.
What is that? What?
All right. Sorry, I got to be carried away. Dang, track field. He couldn't make it in music, so he decided to make it in scamming, man. I am sending that great idea immediately out to the design department. Hey, how about the butler hoodie? I'll probably wear that, man. A butler hoodie, man. Oh boy, I don't know the rude boy dance, Dang. Zip it down. Zip it down. No, everyone banging on the set. On blood. It's Rasclad song. A butcher kitchen open. The discount voucher code should be erectile dysfunction, but it shouldn't be too long. It has to be easy. Okay. All right. So let's deal with the nitty-gritty. It's good to laugh every now and then, man, because where is it? There it is. Did I share the link to this? I think I did. Yeah. Prayer for the destruction of Islam and Christianity. That's ISUPK for you. Bring the destruction of geography. Bring the destruction of filmography. Documentaries. Paintings. Graven images. Destroy it all. No. Let's go. Hold on, please. 1 second. Hold on. The sister, she looks like a sister online. The face looks familiar. But the requirement is to show your face. Is it possible that you use a webcam, please? Oh, thank you. Feel free to speak, sister.
It's me, but I like to, I don't want to, I would like to use my avatar if it's okay. You don't mind?
Well, now that you showed
But
your
you
face,
see me,
yes, it's
you see
okay.
me,
Go ahead.
you
Go
see
ahead.
me.
Yeah. Thank you very
Okay,
much.
I'm gonna go back to my avatar. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, feel free to speak, sister.
All right. No, well, I was going to let him continue talking since he wants to talk, and I was going to be quiet until he's finished. I just came up here to speak with you because
Okay.
I've been watching and listening, and it's about time we could have a channel where it's peaceful and respectful, and not all the craziness, and the arguing and calling people names and talking out of your side of your mouth. So I'm just listening right now until he's finished, and then when he's finished, then if we can dialogue a little bit, I would, because I heard you when you said, and I've been watching you. I've seen you over there with Sinetta and everything, and I'm glad you have broken away from that. And but I heard what you said about people in the Nation of Islam, so I just wanted to clarify that. But I can yield until he's finished.
Well, feel free. He's gonna add on later on. We're glad to have new callers. So feel free, sister.
Oh, okay then. All right then, brother. Well, I just wanted to speak to the fact that you were saying that people in the NRI, they should feel ashamed of themselves for, hanging out with those type of people when all they want to do is denigrate, Islam and things like that. So, and I agree with you. And I just wanted to say you're right. And I found it very weird to see so-called Nation of Islam Muslims, on all these different channels and panels where they're being denigrated and Islam is being downgraded and stepped on and stomped on and really being called the devil, right? But I just wanted to clarify that is not brothers and sisters like myself who came up in the nation from its onset in 1930 in America. And we wouldn't dare be associating with people like that. I have tried to be on different channels and try to tell people the truth about the nation. Brother, I don't know where you're at, but you'll find it very odd that these people are going to try to tell you about something that you lived around and you grew up knowing all your life, like me. I go on to try to be a good sister and try to clarify some of the things, the lies that have been placed out here about the Nation of Islam since Messenger Elijah Muhammad died in 1975. And I was born and raised up in the nation. My parents, all from the 40s and all that. So, we pretty much got a handle on what the nation was about because we lived it and we were in it until it was over in 1975. But of course, people know better than me what was going on in the nation, and I was the one in there. And it was a well, I don't even want to call it religion because Mr. Muhammad, he shared with us why he said that, but that's not really what it was. But I will use the word religion. It's a religion that was inclusive. No, it was exclusive. Everybody wasn't in it, and unless you went through the proper procedures, you did not know everything that was going on in the nation. And then even with some of the people that y'all call stars, like Muhammad Ali and Malcolm X and Farrakhan and who else? Wallace D. Muhammad and all these people. You're not getting everything that is factual that will fit into these stories and the propaganda that they have shared and that has been out here prevalently over the last 45 years that seem like everybody believe. But then you find a person like myself, and it's many of us who don't deal with Farrakhan, don't deal with any of these other organizations or sets that claim to be of the Nation of Islam. We're out here living our lives, standing on our square, and we're not out here trying to be leaders and push anything. But now that I have met some people on the YouTube and they have allowed me a little airtime from time to time, and I've gotten involved, I'm trying to share what really went on. But no, everybody else can tell me when all of you guys have did nothing but read books and heard what other commentators have said. So I just came up to say, I do not adhere to anything the Hebrew Israelites say. I do not I am not threatened by anything they're saying. And I realize that most of the people don't even know what they're talking about. They can't read the Bible to really understand what the Bible is really saying. So none of the Nation of Islam believers who stand with the Honorable Elijah Muhammad still today are listening or on Sinetta's channel or any of that, bruh. So I just wanted to make that clear. The fools who call themselves Muslims that are hanging out on these channels and looking stupid are not followers of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. They are with Farrakhan or one of these other groups that's out here that call themselves the Nation of Islam.
Oh,
Okay.
I see. So basically, because you said Nation of Islam until it ended in 1975, so you personally consider that after the death of Elijah Muhammad, then the Nation of Islam was over. Am I correct?
I don't only consider it, I know for surety that is what happened. Real Muslims in America who came from the days when Elijah Muhammad was alive and teaching and preaching himself, we know that the doors closed to the Nation of Islam on February the 26th, 1975.
I see. Are you familiar with Bernstein Sharif Muhammad?
Yeah, I'm kind of familiar with the name, yeah.
Yeah, she was the secretary of Fard Muhammad. She was nicknamed the
Who?
Reformer.
Who was it? What's her name?
It's Bronstein Sharif Muhammad.
No,
And
I know Sister Bernstein. She would be considered a real elderly sister. But I said she was under who? Who did you say she was under?
she was the secretary of Fard Muhammad.
Okay, and you know what? It was a lot of them that ran with the messenger. I mean, ran with Master Fard Muhammad. I'm just going to say Allah, okay? That ran with Allah, that was taught by him prior to 1931. But after 1931, and he met Sister Clara Muhammad and Sister and Brother Elijah Muhammad, then all of that became null and void, brother. I'm telling you.
Are you familiar with that?
Wait a minute, let me make it clear. Once he passed the scepter to the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, then whoever he was teaching, whoever was working with him became null and void because the messenger became the messenger of Allah. And from that point on, it was up to him how he guided the people and how he instructed the people, brothers. So Sister Bernstein, she might have been a secretary for Master Fard Muhammad at a time, but after the Honorable Elijah Muhammad took over, she was not relevant.
Well, I wouldn't say that, but she married Elijah Muhammad's brother, you know.
And his brothers were not relevant. See, that's what I'm saying. You are doing the same thing. You're trying to tell me something, brother. I'm not no young girl. I'm over 60 years old. I know what I'm talking about. My father was a brother captain. He ran with the the messenger's sons. He even was running with Malcolm.
Yes,
Y'all
but
think
you see, hold on, sister. I would like to try to get one in. You see, you said that Elijah Muhammad's brother was not relevant. You said that your father was a captain, right? But John Ali, if I'm not mistaken, Elijah Muhammad's brother was a supreme captain, so he was superior.
And who made him that? See, you telling me you talking. That's why I get annoyed because y'all telling me stuff that you think I don't know. I know he called himself the supreme minister, but he was not appointed the supreme minister by Elijah Muhammad. And unless Elijah Muhammad gave you the word, you could not just do what you want to do in the nation.
Was your father appointed by Elijah Muhammad?
Absolutely. He was a brother captain, Temple number 5. Sure was.
All right. Are you familiar with that book by John Andrew Morris, Finding Fard Muhammad?
No, sir, I can't say I am.
No. You probably heard of Lance Shabazz, right?
I know Lance Shabazz very well.
You know him personally?
Personally.
Oh, that's great. You know, I would love to speak with him. So if you have a chance, you know, you can tell him that I have his book. I bought it. And
okay, I sure
haven't
will.
finished it yet. But I really love these.
You know, that's my brother. That's my brother. And just to make it briefly, you know about how he went through some sort of entanglements with Brother Manure up there in Chicago and all this stuff. And then it was going around saying that he had lost his faith and he had turned on the nation. You remember that episode during that part of his time?
I remember the episode, but not with a particular brother. But of course, he had that series called, I'm moving on.
Right,
And
right, right.
him saying that he does not believe, that Father Muhammad was Allah. For
Right.
example, the writing, the spelling errors, and different for different things, different
Mm-hmm.
reasons. Of course, they will say, well, he's no longer believing the teaching. He's no longer a
Right.
believer. Because Elijah
Well,
Muhammad
I'm
taught
not
that.
saying that. Excuse me, but I'm not saying that. See, I might seem like I'm being disrespectful. I apologize, but I like to cut
No, it's
in.
okay. No, it's
I
okay.
do
It's okay.
what I do it because I've watched so much foolishness on all these channels, brother. Same channels you talking about. When I have seen these things, I have said, "My goodness, what is going on?" You know what I'm saying? So I'm not being rude, but I'm just trying to be corrective. I'm not saying I feel that way about Lance. I love my brother Lance. Whatever he's going through, that's his journey. This thing has taken a lot of people, and thrown a loop at them because of the messenger's passing. When the messenger died, every family, every person that was in the Nation of Islam went through a traumatic time because, first of all, we did never expect for the messenger to leave us. And then, secondly, to see all of the craziness, people trying to take over the throne, take over the chair, take over, the business, all that stuff. It was devastating to us, brother. Excuse me if I sound like, excuse me, give me a minute. Whew, y'all just don't understand. It was devastating to us. That was all I knew. I didn't know anything about Social Security or income tax or any of that because in the nation, we had everything we needed to sustain our lives, and we had good lives, and we were happy people. And in my temple, in the city where I lived at, we were all like a family. My father being the brother captain, him and the brothers, they did things together. I remember when they first, and then we talking about in the 50s and 60s. I remember when they all put their monies together and bought the first vehicle. All of them, this was their first vehicle, but they used it to bring transportation for the nation and for the brothers and sisters in the neighborhood. So they used it as a taxi service. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just using that as an example to say that's how close we were as a people. We lived like if families lived in apartments buildings, the whole apartment building was full of Muslims. If you owned a house, you didn't just live in a house by yourself. You had a brother and sister probably live on the first floor or the second floor and the basement. Because
Can I ask you a question, sister?
Yes.
Now, you may have heard of Muhammad Ali's ex-wife. I think she was his second wife. She did some interview on the brother's channel. I forgot the brother's name, but he made a documentary called Nine Wives, if I'm not mistaken, or I forgot. I'm not sure exactly. But Kalila, I think her name is Kalila.
Kalila is crazy. I know her. I know.
Right.
Listen, I said I was in the nation, bruh. When
Yes.
your father, when your parents are officers, then you really, you in that circle, you in that inner circle. Okay. I know Kalila, and I always loved her, just like I loved Muhammad Ali, and up until the point that they turned their back on the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. See, it's two theologies out here.
But
The
hold on,
theology that
sister, please. You see, the channel is called Barbershop Conversations, and she actually talked about meeting Father Muhammad. She said that she was introduced to Father Muhammad.
But
well, you can say that. You can say that.
No. This is historical records of the Nation of Islam. Master Farad Muhammad left in 1935. Not even the messenger seen him
1934.
1935, bruh. 1935. See,
Well,
y'all
Muhammad
know more than we
well,
know. Was you in the nation? Was your father, mother, and sisters and brothers and aunts and uncles in the nation, my aunt?
No, I can quote from you.
Now you gonna tell me?
Listen,
We got the whole history.
The Blackstone, page 38, and he said until 1934. I can quote some other books as well. You have the book.
Who said?
Come again?
I said, who are you saying said this?
Well, you have the This one is the messenger, the rise of Prophet Elijah Muhammad. So I can quote many different books. But Elijah Muhammad said,
but sir, this is why I'm telling you. We had, can I tell you, do you live here? Are you in America?
sister, it doesn't matter where I stay, but for the
Okay,
record,
then
I live in Europe.
it
But
does matter. It does matter to a degree
okay. Let's do this,
because
sister.
what I'm saying
Sister,
is you
let's do
are
this.
reading about.
Please show me a quote from Elijah Muhammad that says 1935 for the departure of
I have,
Muhammad.
I have information in my MGT notebook where Master Muhammad wrote a letter to the MGT November 1935. He was still around us. He did not leave until 1935 in November, the end of the year. See, y'all don't know. No one has told y'all the truth. And you want to listen to people
please?
like me.
Can you show us, please?
I have the paper is in my notebook. I mean, I could put it up on the screen some kind of way, but I'll send it to you. No. I'll do better than that. You have an email address. I will print it and send it to you. Okay.
Okay. I'm gonna give you my email address.
I have no problem with that.
Because somebody could say that you're lying because Elijah Muhammad clearly said that Far Muhammad departed in 1934.
No, he never said that. He never said that though.
Yeah, you have my email address. It's actually in the description of this video. It's best to copy
I will
and
send
paste
it to you.
To avoid any,
and then,
any
but listen to this, bruh. Let's go on the lie that Khalila made. If she had seen the messenger, Master Muhammad, it would have been somewhere around the late 60s, early 70s. And Master Muhammad had clearly been gone then. Khalila is not that much older than me. So as a young woman in the Nation of Islam, you do not be around the top officials and stuff like that. Y'all don't know, and I'm sorry to say it for you, but y'all can read all the books you want. You can have all the hypocrites like Khalila and all the rest of these Negroes out here that were once in the nation and fell out with the nation because of their own internal and personal reasons, unlike me and my family. And so you can believe that if you want. But my thing is, how could she have met Master Muhammad when he was long gone and Khalila is not that old?
Yeah, sister, Elijah Muhammad said that Far Muhammad made himself known in 1930, and then he departed in 1934. So that's what he said. But Elijah Muhammad used several aliases. He's not going to tell everything. But you can say she's lying. I hear you. But what about the wives of Elijah Muhammad?
You show me the quote. You show me the quote where the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that.
Well, I was looking for the quote.
We didn't. He didn't say he left the country in 1934. He said he left the public eye in 1934.
Okay. You can say that. So then, what she's saying, you cannot say is inaccurate. But the thing is that
I can say it's inaccurate because she is not that old, and she would have not been privy.
But she was very young. She actually lived in Elijah Muhammad's house. But I would like to talk about something else because you don't believe what she says, and it's fine. But you see,
and she would never tell me that.
Well, she told it to the whole world.
I've talked to her many times. She ain't never told me. She never told anybody about her knowing Master Muhammad until it came in the public, and now she's a Sunni Muslim and doing all kind of crazy stuff out here. She's not even amplifying what she would have been as a Muslim sister in the nation if she was still in the nation.
I would like to ask you about the wives of Elijah Muhammad because
he never had any wives. He never had any wives.
Oh, so Clara was not his wife?
He only had one wife. I said wives. I didn't say he didn't have a wife. I said, see, I can speak English. So we don't have to argue. We don't have to go to back. I don't know because you didn't hear me. I said wives. I said wives. I didn't say he had wife. I said he didn't have no wives. You said, what about his wives, right? Is that what you said?
Sister, we don't need to go back and forth about the word wives. Okay. But what I would like to ask you about, you stated yourself that Elijah Muhammad didn't have any wives. So when Farrakhan, yes, he had only one. That's what you're saying. Fine. So when Farrakhan showed those women in the video called 28 Years Later, what happened? Did Farrakhan lie to the whole world then?
He absolutely did.
All right. Okay. Now, that's what I said as well, that he lied to the whole world, because in the newspaper Muhammad Speaks 1964, September 11, we have Kareem Muhammad, who's a minister.
he labeled those women prostitutes. He says, as for those 2 prostitutes. So some women cannot be labeled prostitutes, and 28 years later, out of magic, they become wives. And even Elijah Muhammad himself wrote and said, Malcolm went to the press, and I'm paraphrasing, but he tried to say that I was the father of those 2 women. I think he may have named them, but I'm going off memory, so don't quote me. Yes.
He did. Lucille, Velma, Karana, my daughter. Karana, what was the name of them other women?
Evelyn, Lucille and Evelyn.
Right, Evelyn and Lucille.
Yes.
And then Farrakhan later parades 5 or 6 other more women up on his stage.
Yes.
And they all got different names. They don't even have the name Lucille and Velma.
Yes.
But my point is, Mr. Muhammad proved this back before Malcolm even died, that he had nothing but 1 wife and 8 children. And if it was true, do y'all not understand that as powerful as Elijah Muhammad was in America for the Black man and woman, that if that was true, they would have berated the messenger all the way until he took his last breath. They would have never came off of it. And plus, if they had the proof that he had other wives and other children illegally in America, because they don't believe in polygamy, they would have arrested the messenger and put him in jail.
Well, not necessarily, because those people, they will have religious marriages. Muslims do.
Not
even in
here,
Europe.
sir. Not here.
Yes, no, in America, people have religious marriages. They do.
Not here. Not in the Black community. We don't know of none. I don't know of none. I didn't know of none back then, and I don't know of none today that's looked at as legal. That's
no, I'm
what
not
I'm
talking about whether it's legal or not. I'm just saying that some people worldwide.
Well, we did things. Look, we did things legally in the nation, just like we stand on that today. There was none of that.
A religious marriage is not illegal. It's but I get it.
Brother,
but sister,
brother,
yes.
It's illegal in the nation of Islam when the messenger was here, because you keep trying to tell me something.
Okay,
we
sister,
did not
you sound
practice
upset.
polygamy.
I'm going to leave it there. I don't want you to have a stroke. Feel free to come back anytime. Ooh, I was just saying that a religious marriage is not illegal. Have you heard of the Mormon brothers and sisters? The Mormons, they're not for so many partners. Of course, in America, you can legally marry only 1 wife. That's legally, Then you can have religious marriage or any other kind of marriage, traditional marriage, what have you. David wrote, Malcolm X challenged him about his wives. They were not wives. It's later on that they presented those women as wives, because like I've shown in the newspaper, Muhammad Speaks, September 11, 1964, the minister of the Nation of Islam called Zaya Kareem labeled those women as prostitutes. That's what he wrote on the newspaper. Young Hero wrote, yeah, everybody want to speak for a man that passed already. So I'm going to move forward a little bit until the sister comes back.
Are you
up? If you allow me to, thank you. I apologize. Thank you. I apologize. Look, young man. I apologize, because that's what y'all want to think, that I'm being emotional. But like I said before, when I first came on your program, all I have ever seen on these YouTubes, I just came back on YouTube in 2021 after I took a hiatus from 2008. So, and I have a YouTube channel where I talk about Islam to sisters. It's basically for women, but brothers would come over there too. And I shut it down because of this kind of stuff right here, this arguing back and forth, misconstruing people's personalities and character because they get emotional and they're passionate, and I don't like it. So I apologize if you think that's what I was doing. But I think if you allow me to finish one sentence, then I can go to the next. But what I have observed on these panels, between especially you brothers, is that y'all don't even give a person the time to complete a whole thought before you jump in with another assertion of guilt or shame or disbelief. And that's all I was trying to get you was let me finish, brother. So I apologize if it offended my brothers, because there's one thing I'm not, and that's emotional, like overly emotional, like most women, because I have been taught and trained by myself, one, but by taking martial arts, another, to learn how to be calm. And I am a lot of logic more than I am emotions. So I'm just trying to make a point, and you can believe, you all and anybody else can keep on believing whatever they want to about the real nation of Islam, but I'm here as a representative and a live person who lived this loving, beautiful life until it was over in 1975. And no, it was nothing like any other organization out here ran by Black people who have Black leaders. And it had none of those sneaky scamming type of connotations added to it, nor did we deal with anything like that all the years of my life, as long as the messenger was alive. Now, after he left, you see the results. But when the nation was the nation under the guidance of Elijah Muhammad and Allah, Master Muhammad, we were doing good things. We were building good things. The last thing we were trying to do, just as the messenger was getting ready to leave and die and be from amongst us again, we were getting ready to purchase a hospital up on Stony Island. That is why Mayor Daley, which was the mayor of Chicago at the time, declared March the 29th the Honorable Elijah Muhammad Day. And we had a function, a big dinner and all that, and it was to bring monies in so we could start collecting monies to open up that hospital. I think it's called Jackson Hospital, that was once up on Stony Island. But the messenger died a year later, and so there you have it. Nothing happened. And now you see the results of all the infighting and craziness was going on amongst the people who was trying to vie for power and money and recognition. That was not the messenger. So it has nothing to do with me just living a life of Raleigh and excursion and delusion at all. It was real. We were doing big things in America for Black people. It didn't matter whether you was in or out, but if you was in, you were privileged, just like y'all little YouTube pages, and you got joined to get the privileged information, to get the perks. That was the same thing with the nation. If you wanted to really be in the in crowd and know what was going on, you had to get the X. You had to write the letter to get your X so you could be inside the house. But regardless, you was still a brother or a sister. And we did not make our people feel like they was not good enough because they was not registered on the books. It was for Black people by Black people. And so therefore, what I'm trying to share is I thank you, brother, my aunt. You said Farrakhan was lying, and he was lying. None of those children and none of those women had anything to do with the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And I'm going to say this, and then I'm going to let y'all have it. All of you Malcolm lovers, we love Malcolm X too, up until February 1964, excuse me. Because why? It had nothing to do with jealousy. It had nothing to do with his vernacular, what he wanted to do in life, how he wanted to guide Black people in America. Nobody had any problem with whatever you want to do. In the Nation of Islam, we were free people, free thinking people, critical thinking people. However, when it came to our rules and regulations that none of y'all really knew nothing about, all these people didn't claim to be of the nation and came out and talked about the messenger and all and lied. Have they ever told you about the protocol? Have they ever told you about the rules and regulations? Have they ever told you about the process? Have they ever told you about any of that? The punishments? Have they ever told you about any of the penalties you could get? No, they've made it seem like it was church where you can come and go and do as you please. And it was not like that. So Malcolm X, who y'all love so much and who we used to love too, the reason why things went awry with him is because he disrespected, I'm gonna say it real slow. He disrespected a direct order from the head of state, which was the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, that went to every temple member in the nation in 1963 when President John F. Kennedy got killed. The reason why the messenger told everybody have no comment. I don't care if you go to college, you go to school, you work in the government, you work at the hospital. If somebody come up and ask you, because you are a member of the Nation of Islam, how do you feel? You say no comment. When it came to everybody else, nobody else said nothing. Malcolm coming through the airport, they run up to him. He says, look like the roost, the chickens coming home to roost. That went around the world. And who did they point their finger at? Not Malcolm. They pointed their finger at Elijah Muhammad. Why? Because he was the head and always was and will always be the head of the Nation of Islam. And
Yes,
so,
sister.
may I finish? So the reason why he left, he didn't get kicked out. He got set down for 90 days because that is the punishment when you are stepping out of line and not following orders. You get C time, which is 90 days, which would have put him March the 1st, 1965, when he would have been able, no, I'm sorry, March the 1st, 1964, he would have been able to come back. No, instead of him coming back, he told the messenger about 4 days before Savior's Day, he was going and do his own thing. He was only gone, not even a good whole year before them people shot him down up there in New York. We had nothing to do with that. We didn't care what Malcolm did. We didn't want to know what Malcolm was doing.
It was members of the Nation of Islam that shot him.
No, it was not. That has been proven. That's not the truth.
I beg to differ. You know,
I think, wait a minute, ask Killer B. Since you believe what the brothers say, ask Killer B. It has been proven that those brothers were exonerated. They had nothing to do with the murder of Malcolm X.
One of two was exonerated, but not all of them. But you know, we can get into details about that. You know, Zach Kondo.
Well, you know what? You right here. I mean, I don't know who you are. You sound Jamaican or something like that. Really, you know, it's another thing. That's another misunderstanding. In the Nation of Islam,
I would like to get a chance to speak. I would like to get a chance to speak if you don't mind.
But you know, that's what we've been doing too much is just speaking, and nobody's telling the truth. And you can't tell me about something I was born and raised in, and I'm gonna tell you like I told
the sister. I understand you were born and raised into it, but we have writings. You understand what I'm saying? So, for example,
but there are false writings, my aunt. We did our own historical valuations. We wrote our own books.
Yeah, but that's the problem, sister. You see, historically, when there are some movements, some historical figures, if you take the words only of the organizations themselves, then it might not be historically accurate. It's not to the point where everything Malcolm X says is a lie. Some people will say that he waited for the time period of the suspension, you know, but we can get into details about that. But the thing is that
he didn't though.
Well, I hear you.
That's what. But did he ever tell y'all anything about it?
Okay, sister, are you aware that Elijah Muhammad has taught that Joseph spoke to a donkey and instructed the donkey to carry Mary and Jesus to Egypt?
What?
Okay, let me just show you. Now. Okay. Maybe.
What? What writing? Wow. This is really something, I tell you.
Coming up with some propaganda.
And who wrote this, brother? That's what I'm asking you.
It's Elijah Muhammad, but I will show you.
On what book? What book is this?
What book?
I will tell you.
Waiting.
We know he only published 5 books, so I don't know, you know.
Well, he published 5 books, but there were several writings, several interviews that he did, and we have MEMS publication. You see, Message to the Black Man of America, Message to the Black Man in America. It is published by MEMS, right? Messenger Elijah Muhammad Publication Society. So they are the one who have published other books from some of his
show me the statement where the message, whatever you was talking about. What were you talking about? I don't know. Messenger never talked very much about Jesus.
Not a donkey, not a donkey, my bad, a camel. So here, this is the book entitled The History of Jesus' Birth, Death, and What It Means, page 14. Joseph rented one of those fast, is it sharing? Yes. So here,
Joseph rented one of those fast camels, put Mary and her baby on it, and said to the camel, "Take this woman to Cairo, Egypt. Hurry, hurry." The camel went directly to Cairo with Mary and her child Jesus.
Watch this, y'all. But you understand that MEMS is not an authority on what Messenger Muhammad said or did, because the brother who started MEMS was not even in the Nation of Islam when Messenger Muhammad was even alive.
All right. So I wanted to touch on that MEMS publication. Nikki really wrote, "Shaka, you didn't tell me you were from my country, Jamaica. I never said I was from your country. I don't false lie. My parents are from Haiti. I mean, I know, a few words, because I lived in England, and over there, Jamaicans are massive. I mean, I would say it's the largest West Indian or Caribbean population in England, Jamaicans. I even forgot the name of the boat that took Caribbeans to England. Like, is it something like Windrush or something? But anyway. So do a search. Type in "message to the black man in America" PDF. First result, it's our website here. That's the link there. Putting it in the chat. So "Message to the Black Man in America" by Elijah Muhammad, Messenger of Allah, copyright 1965-1973, published by Secretarius MEMS Publications at Smashwords. So MEMS stands for Messenger Elijah Muhammad Propagation Society, if I'm not mistaken. It is written somewhere. We'll double check. Probably. Okay, anyway. So even if it was first published by the Nation of Islam, how did it get to have a copyright on it? I mean, it has to be legit. Now, what did he say? Michael, guess what? Peace, brother Shaka. I'm glad you shared that book by Len Shabazz. And if somebody knows Len Shabazz, tell him that I really like what he's doing. I really like his series. I'm moving on. And I've just started this book. I didn't finish because I'm studying and I'm quite late, honestly. But I'm really planning on getting through with this book. I'm very interested in his experience. So that's just one thing here. Not a big deal, but just for the record. Then I'm going to have to share my. Okay, so there it is. I'm going to show this one last. Okay. Our Savior has arrived. By Elijah Muhammad, messenger of Allah, leader leader and teacher to the American so-called Negro, published by Secretarius MEMS Ministries. I don't even think they have that website anymore, mems.com. Well, now they have Elijah Muhammad books, and I guess it makes more sense to have a website called Elijah Muhammad Books rather than MEMS. So it's quite strange that they managed to have a copyright on that book as well. The Fall of America. That's a book, by the way. I want people to think that I've printed the book cover and I'm pretending. So, The Fall of America by Elijah Muhammad, published by who? Oh, no. You see, the Necheru. Now, this one is published by Muhammad's Temple of Islam number 2. So, not by MEMS, okay? So, I guess that's why it wouldn't work. The Theology of Time. That's the guy she talked about, Nasir. She said she knows him and he was not a member of the NOI when Elijah Muhammad passed or something like that. And it is published by who? Secretarius MEMS Ministries. I mean, if he's not official, how did he manage to get the copyright on all those books from Elijah Muhammad? But anyway, for the record, compilation of speeches and articles, interviews of Elijah Muhammad. So you have that one, the Genesis years. Unpublished and rare writings of Elijah Muhammad. See? And it is. MEMS. Actually, I forgot that I can remove the larger. And then do I do it? Is it a double click or something? No. Do it. Published by Secretarius MEMS Publication. The Blackstone. Autobiographically, authoritative edited by Nasir Makar Hakim, minister. Called himself a minister, man. A Secretarius MEMS Ministry publication. Have that one, the history of the Nation of Islam. This one is very small. By Elijah Muhammad, Messenger Elijah Muhammad, a Secretarius MEMS publication. And finally, this one is very interesting. It's small as well. The history of Jesus' birth, death, and what it means by Elijah Muhammad. It says messenger of Allah right underneath in parentheses. And this is also Secretary Smith's publication. Why is this book very special? Because on page 20, let me get this out of the way. I have plenty of other books by Elijah Muhammad. I have many on PDF format by the same publishing house. If you go on page 20, it talks about Jesus being killed. So I'm moving straight to page 21. I'm going to start on page 20. Then Jesus and the other officers started walking down the street to turn him over to the authorities. While going on, the officer said to Jesus, "Since you came here to give yourself up to be killed, why not let me kill you and you will not feel it? But if I take you to them, the infidel Jews, they want to torture you, make you suffer. I will kill you in an instant and you will never feel death. Furthermore, I will get more for taking you there dead than alive. I'm a poor man with a large family. Why not let me get the larger reward since you came to die?" Jesus agreed and said to the officer, "Come and do it." The officer took Jesus to an old deserted storefront, which was boarded up to protect the store from possible stones thrown by boys that might break the glass. The officer said to Jesus, "Stand with your back against the storefront and put your hands up." Jesus, being a brave man and ready to die, obeyed the officers. The officer stretched forth his hands like a cross, not on a cross, but made a cross of himself. On page 21, the officer drew a small sword-like knife from his side, which looks like the American hunting knife. Only this little sword is sharp on both sides of the table. On both sides of the blade, to about 2/3 of its length. He plunged the sword through the heart of Jesus with such force that it went clear through and stuck itself into the boards that he was standing against, and left him as a crucifix. By Jesus having such strong nerves, his death was so instant that the blood stopped circulating at once, and Jesus was left stiff, with both arms stretched in the same position as he put them when ordered by the officer. The authorities came and took him from the boards where the knife had pinned Jesus' body. When Joseph heard of his son Jesus' death, he came and got the body from the authorities. He secured some Egyptian embalmers to embalm the body to last for 10,000 years. Joseph wanted the body embalmed to last as long as the earth petrified, but was not able to pay for such embalming. The Egyptian embalmers put the body into a glass tube filled with a certain chemical known only to the Egyptian embalmers that will keep one's body looking the same as when it died. That is, if they get the body at a certain time for many thousands of years, as long as no air is allowed to enter the tube that the body is in. They buried the body in the old city, Jerusalem. His body lies in the tomb in such manner that it reflects in 4 different directions. This was done to keep the enemies from knowing in just what direction the real body is lying. No Christian is allowed to see the body unless they pay a price of $6,000 and must get a certificate from the Pope of Rome. The tomb is guarded by Muslims. When Christians are allowed to see Jesus' body, they are stripped of weapons, handcuffed behind their backs, and well-armed Muslim guards take them to the tomb. But Muslims, the brothers of Jesus, can go to see his body at any time without charge. So Elijah Muhammad taught in that book here, or it's in that writing, that text, that you can see the body of Jesus if you pay $6,000 and you get a certificate from the Pope of Rome. And it's clear that some people have seen it, because we are told what happens when Christians go and see it. They are handcuffed in the back, stripped of weapons, stuff like that. So if you want to believe that, more power to you. Michael, guess what? I have that Genesis years. That's an old book there. And I made a video about this a long time ago, actually. So going to share it in the chat. So of course, if you also follow up with Elijah Muhammad, agree with that, they will say yes. Muslims can go and see the body free of charge. So, you know, if you're a Muslim, take advantage. Here it is. Jesus stabbed to death. See his body for $6,000 and Pope certificate. All right, let's go back. It's here.
So you cannot go extensively, but I have a book big as a Bible with all of the MGT and the Nation of Islam writings that we had, even some of that my father had. So please, you know, this is
Sister,
very
please let me
disrespectful. I wouldn't try to tell you nothing
sister,
about
sister,
my
please, let me just respond to that. But hold on, sister, you said that the brother. No, now I can hear. And she said, I wouldn't try to tell you nothing about my eye. If you stick to the text, what's wrong with that? You know what I'm saying? The who started MEMS was not even alive.
No, I didn't say that.
Okay, come again. Then. You said that.
I said he was not in the nation when Messenger Muhammad was alive.
Okay, now when the book Message to the Black Men of America was released, Elijah Muhammad was alive.
Back in 1965.
Yes. So was he alive?
Yes. Of course.
Okay, so was
I did not say that. Why are we questioning that?
Hold on. No, we're getting to the bottom of it. So wasn't it published by MEMS publication?
No, it was not.
So it was published by who?
It was published by Nation of Islam.
Okay.
Edition
so
number 1.
I've shown you that MEMS publication still got the copyright of the Message to the Black Men in America, you know, so they're not official. If Nasir is not official, I don't know how he managed to get that, you know. Okay, so you're just telling us that MEMS publication is not to be taken seriously, in other words, then.
I don't see how you could take it totally serious when this is this own brother's way of interpreting what he believed Messenger Muhammad was saying. So you could think what you want.
Yeah, but you're just picking and choosing.
Who? No, I'm not picking and choosing anything. MEMS is a publication by a brother that I know, and he was not in the nation when Messenger Muhammad was here. So all he has done was take the Messenger's book and try to simplify them for people like you to try to understand what the Messenger was teaching.
No, he did not simplify anything. He just quoted what Elijah Muhammad said.
Oh, no. I know Nasir. I know Nasir. No, that's not true.
So I have a question for you. When you say that he was not in the nation, do you mean that he left the nation at the time?
No, I mean he did not get his ex, and he was not up under the Elijah, because Elijah Muhammad had died.
No, he had not. Okay. Now, you said he had not gotten his ex. You can still be a member of Nation of Islam even if you don't have your ex.
You have to have your register. You have to have an ex to be a registered Muslim.
Okay, so basically you're telling us that when he started MEMS publication, he was not a member of the Nation of Islam. That's what you're saying.
He was not. As far as I know, he was in the service somewhere.
Okay, so I presume he's dead now, is he?
No, Brother Nasir is not dead. I talked to him a couple of years ago.
Can you please get him to come on this show and just state that for the record? Because I'm sure he would disagree.
I will most definitely call him and tell him that you would like for him to come on.
Yeah, I would love for him to come on. I purchased several of the books from MEMS publication, and I'm sure he would disagree with your statement. But you know,
I can sell them. People can buy them from me, because I have the software. So, you know, y'all know who you're talking to. I knew Khalid Muhammad personally. I know Shahrazad Ali personally. I knew Farrakhan and his family, and I still know them personally. So you just been getting hearsay.
Did you tell Farrakhan that he lied to the world?
You know what? That's why I don't fool with him no more, because I let him know he lying to the world.
Okay. Now, you see, the title of his live stream is Prayer for the Destruction of Islam and Christianity.
I see that, and that's why I came up here. I think that's shameful.
Well, that's shameful, but Elijah Muhammad also said that Christianity is what they want to destroy.
No, he said it was the icebox religion.
I mean the church. Sorry, the church.
Oh my God. You don't have to apologize. It's
Yeah.
okay.
No,
You know
no,
why?
because
Because
I
you
wanted
are
to
a
correct myself
foreigner.
because I said
You are a
Christianity.
foreigner. I
Okay,
thank
yeah,
you, but
yeah, but
you're a foreigner. And my
sister,
people
okay.
over here
Mm.
are just as clueless about the nation as you are, and you live
Yeah,
somewhere else. And if
okay,
you don't, you know,
okay,
so
sister,
I'm used
sister,
to it. It's no problem. You ain't got to apologize.
please let me say this. The Theology of Time, regardless of who published it, it was some speech from Elijah Muhammad, so we can hear the audio, right?
And what do you say?
On page 2011 of the Theology of Time, we have Elijah Muhammad who said, I cannot give you reverence too much sympathy because the church is what we want to destroy. So is that correct or not? Is that what he said?
I agree, and I'm sure, but I'm trying to share with you. He said the church was an ice box because our people would come in the door, the front door, and come back out that same door and still not be then elevated in their thinking at all. So he said the church needs to die. But he did not say Christianity. He said if the brothers and sisters was really following Christianity, then they would be crystallized into God, and therefore we would all be on the same page. But since they won't, then we are adverse with one another. See, we had Friday night meetings, Wednesday night meetings, we had MGT meetings, FOI meetings, and where we talk shop, bruh, and our messengers taught us besides what y'all heard him doing publicly.
But you know, he said that Christianity is the religion of Satan, right?
Exactly.
All right. So that's very similar to what the Hebrew Israelite was saying. Now you have your explanation as to why he said that the church is what they want to destroy, but he still said it. And I'm sure the Hebrew Israelite have some reason for saying that they pray for the destruction of Islam and Christianity. He also said that Christian religion is a false religion, you know. So yes. I mean, there's so many things like that. I mean, he even said that the Quran was tampered with. I'm sure you're aware of that.
Exactly. And he told us that only 2/3 of it was for us to even be concerned about. You're right. He told us the Bible, we had to be careful about what's being taught in the Bible. And so therefore, since he was the messenger of Allah, God had blessed him with the true interpretation. And that's what he taught us. So that's why I know the Bible so well. I know the Bible from Genesis to Revelation, but I know it because I was able to be blessed to understand exactly what those words mean. And I can spell out something for you. I know I heard somebody on your channel say most of these people don't even know how to read. I think it was Killer B. He said most of them don't know how to read and understand what's being shared. And I agree with him 100%. And just like him, if he had treated me the way he treats you on your channel, if he had treated me like he's talking and treating you on your channel, then me and him wouldn't have never had no problem. But see, that's why I got irate with you, because I'm so used to people jumping on me. Every time I open my mouth, I don't care what panel I'm on, everybody wants to jump on me because of their misunderstanding, their misguiding, their misguidance of the Nation of Islam. And
well,
so,
you know, sister, I would just like to tell you that, you know, you need to see also how you're coming at people, because you're telling me that I'm an outsider. You say that you suspect that I'm Jamaican. I mean, whether I'm Jamaican or Russian or it doesn't matter.
I was not talking to you. I was talking to the other person. I didn't mean I was not trying to talk to you.
Well, he does have a Caribbean accent, but you know, regardless, you know,
I wasn't talking to you.
Yeah, I understand that you are not talking to me, but I'm saying that even if somebody was not a member of the Nation of Islam, if he reads the writing of Elijah Muhammad, then he can quote them, and that's merely what I am doing. Now, for example, Elijah Muhammad did state, and we have the audio, that Prophet Muhammad was a white man. Do you agree with that?
Yes, I do.
So basically, you are following the religion.
With anything. But what has that? I don't understand the basis of your question.
The basis of my question is that you are following the white man's religion.
No, I'm not. Prophet Muhammad was a white man, not Allah. Allah is not white.
Well, is Allah found Muhammad?
And Allah is the God over white, black, purple, green, blue, pink.
Yes.
It don't.
Now, when Nation of Islam members, including 5% members of the NGE, Nation of Gods and Earth, said that the Christianity is a white man's religion, you know, they don't say, you know, the God of the Christian, Jehovah or Yahweh, is the God of everybody, black, white, and so on, you know. But when it's them, you know, despite the prophet being white, according to Elijah Muhammad and Farrakhan, and then they talk about God being, you know, the God of everybody.
I think it's a double standard, but I'm not good. I'm not losing sleep over it.
Oh man.
Yes, but the religion, it was the Quran was revealed to Prophet Muhammad. You see,
and you see how you talking to me? You see how you talking to me? You talking to me very condescending, but you don't hear yourself. But then when I answer back to you condescendingly, then I'm wrong. So
did you feel I was condescending? Let me go back. White man, do you agree with that?
Yes, I do.
So basically, you are following the religion.
What has that got to do with anything? But what has that? I don't understand the basis of your questioning.
The basis of my question is that you are following the white man's religion.
No.
I'm a troublemaker with my questions, isn't I? The brother was saying, you're asking deep questions, so I need to take your time. And after I finish, I'll give you more time.
I'm not. Prophet Muhammad was a white man, not Allah. Allah is not white.
Well, is Allah found Muhammad?
And Allah is the God over white, black, purple, green, blue, pink. Yes, it don't matter.
Yes, but the religion, the Quran was revealed to Prophet Muhammad. You see?
See, you see how you talking to me? You see how you talking to me? You talking to me very condescending, but you don't hear yourself. But then when I answer back to you condescendingly, then I'm wrong. So to kill it, why don't you just ask the question without trying to lead one?
I'm not trying to lead anything, sister.
You are leading, brother. You're very misleading.
Okay, you can say that. I don't take
and
issues
so
with
I
that.
can say that you can say that I'm being emotional, but and I'm not arguing the fact. And I can say you're wrong.
I didn't say that, and I didn't say that earlier. It wasn't me who said that, sister.
But you knocked me off the page because I got kind of loud, and I understand that. But I wasn't trying to.
You were screaming. You were shouting.
That's I did. I said you knocked me off your channel.
Yeah, because you were shouting. Because you were shouting and screaming.
Because you wasn't listening to me. Just because you wasn't listening, and I had to talk over you.
If you give me,
but I apologize.
This real quick.
Okay. But
I apologize. I couldn't hear her. I had a very important call I had to take. But when I come back, and what y'all talking about now, this is the same issue that I had on my platform with her. And from what she's saying, like the condescending talk, I don't think that it's condescending, but what we're trying to do, we're trying to be respectful and trying to avoid the loud conflict. And you might be taking it as condescending because we're trying to be very careful with how we deal with you from the way that you're speaking. You know what I mean?
Well, can I ask the question? How am I supposed to talk?
It takes a lot away from people that are listening. When you have people talking over each other, it's hard the audio is hard, and it's hard for people to enjoy the show or to actually get the full understanding. You know what I mean? So that's what Brother Shaka is good. You know how I am on my channel. I turn up. You know what I'm saying? Like when you get to a certain point, I lose it. I'm somewhere else with it. I know Shaka witnessed that the other night. But y'all continue talking. I just wanted to say that.
Yeah, sister. I want you to say that.
I was in culture shock, ever since I was asked to come on some panels and everything, and I thought it was just going to be this cordial conversation, and people ask a question that you can finish one, then come back and ask you another one, or you can ask the question. It's like a culture shock to me because it's been everything but that. On every channel I've been invited on or went on willingly and willfully on my own, it has been nothing but a shit show. So I don't know how to act on these things. I would love just to be able to dialogue. Whether you believe it or not, I'm just telling you, your problem with me saying you people is because I want y'all to understand something. The Nation of Islam was for Black people. I want y'all to hear me good, and you can have a feel. I don't care how y'all feel about it. The Nation of Islam in the wilderness of North America was for Black people who was enslaved in America. It was for us. Any other of our people that may just say that, and he don't see how he did rule. He don't see it. I don't get it. Can I finish?
I just said I understand, sister. Just to show you that I'm listening to you.
I didn't hear. I couldn't even hear you. I don't know what you're saying, so that's fine. But what I'm saying, as far as our brothers and sisters in other countries, in other islands, they had their own membership, but they had their own temples. So like in New York, where we had a lot of mixture of different kind of Black people in America, you had temple number 7. Temple number 7 in Harlem was for the Black Americans. Temple number EFGHIGK, those were for our brothers and sisters from Puerto Rico, from Jamaica, from Barbados, or wherever they come from, speaking the same language. We did not have meetings with all kind of different other kind of speaking Black people in our temples. That was not allowed. Messenger Muhammad came to the North Americans, then everybody else.
Yes. Now,
I would like, that's where the confusion that came from too, because now Messenger Muhammad taught us, you don't let no Africans, you don't let no Asians, you don't let no brothers and sisters from the islands come to America and tell you nothing about who you are, what you're supposed to be doing, what time it is, and what must be done. He said, don't do it. And that's why y'all were not allowed in our temple meetings. Now, only during Savior's Day.
But you know, please give me a chance.
Only during Savior's Day.
Yes, but please give me a chance so we can kind of have equal time. So you agreed with the statement of Elijah Muhammad that Prophet Muhammad was a white man. So indeed, Islam is a white man's religion. Then you interjected.
No, it's not.
Okay,
Islam is universal. Islam was universal.
Okay.
Everybody practice Islam because all Islam means is peace. And until
it doesn't mean peace, sister. It means submission.
Oh my God, I'm done. Okay, go ahead, brother. It's your show.
No, but we can talk. But you said it means peace. Islam means submission. It doesn't mean peace. Now,
when you submit to God, you are at peace, and everything around you is at peace.
You can say that, but you know the meaning, you know the etymology, the root.
Well, no, you need to look it up again. It means
salam. Salam means peace, yes, but not Islam.
Islam means total submission to the will of Allah.
You just said it, so it doesn't mean peace. Well, okay,
it means peace.
I hear you, but
and so it was pervasively the way all mankind lived upon the planet before the devastation and evil came on the planet. So what was told to Muhammad, this is by the messenger teaching us, Messenger Muhammad taught us, and this is what we stand on, is that Allah commissioned Muhammad to get an army to go around and to get his people back in line with truth and righteousness and living a moral life. And so therefore he commissioned Muhammad, a white man, to go to his own people. He is not the beginning of Islam. He did not create Islam. He did not build the 5 pillars of Islam. He was just a messenger of God, just like the black one in America, Elijah Muhammad, was to us.
Okay,
Every person has a term.
Okay, I get it, sister. Now, earlier you said that you like to call Muhammad Allah, right? So in the Quran, chapter 112, come again?
I say I do say Allah.
Yes, okay, yes, and Elijah Muhammad thought that Muhammad is Allah, Allah in the person of Muhammad, WD Muhammad. So in the Quran, chapter 112, it says that God begets not, nor is he begotten. But Elijah Muhammad has taught us that Muhammad's father is called Alfonso, and that his mother is called Baby G. Do you agree with that statement?
And you said now in the Quran, it says what?
In the Quran, it says that Allah begets not, nor is he begotten.
Okay. And what is that talking about? Like having children?
Well, to beget means having children.
God can't have no children. I agree with that. The God, the male God, can't have no children. That's true.
Okay, and nor is he begotten, so he was not. He wasn't.
And the first God was not born of a woman. That's true.
Okay, so Muhammad had a father and a mother. So according to the Quran, Muhammad cannot be God. He cannot be Allah.
Well, that's like I said, we don't deal with we only deal with 2/3 of the Quran. We don't go with that contradicts what Master Muhammad shared with us when he seeked to save the civilization of humanity on this planet when he came to the world. So I can't speak on that. All I'm gonna say is that's not what we stand on.
I understand. Now, Elijah Muhammad did teach that there was some scientists who are also gods. Is that correct? Do you agree with that?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So the nation of Islam is polytheist then?
It's what?
Polytheist.
You mean polytheistic?
My bad, polytheistic.
No, it's not polytheistic because all the gods are black, and that's all that matters. You a god, I'm a god, he a god, she a god. We still the same people. We still the same bloodline, so it's still one God.
But if you have more than one God, then you are polytheistic.
It's not polytheistic. No, it isn't. Gods have to be different to be polytheistic. Polytheistic means you believe this is a God, that's a God, this is a God, that's a God. No, I said the black man and woman is God. So we are still the same people. We are the same species. We're not different.
Okay. And just one last thing, and then I'm going to let the brother Young Hair will speak.
Yes,
now, Elijah Muhammad did teach that the God who created the earth is no longer there, that he died. Do you agree with that statement?
Well, I don't think he made statements like died, but he said they are no longer here.
Yeah,
they have passed on or whatever,
okay,
right? Because we don't like to use the word dead or died, right?
I understand.
Right.
So they rule for like 25,000 years. Do you agree with that statement?
Well, I'm not saying that no one God ruled for 20. It's like it would probably be like looking like empire, you know, like the first God.
Let me just show you the quote. Let me just show you the quote, sister. No, because just against clarity, because you hear the Theology of Time, page 55, but obviously we have the audio because it was a speech. In the calendar of in the calendar of our rule, once every 25,000 years we change gods.
But it's the same God. It's still the black man. That's all I was trying to get to. But since you want to act like you're so direct and so real and so stickler. Okay, we'll go there.
That's called quoting. But thank you, sister. Young Hair will feel free.
But I just don't understand why you don't, go the easy way, because like Killer B was saying, most of our people don't understand what's being shared, because a lot of them don't really understand how to read, write, and with comprehension. So why use all these big words and stuff? Let's just keep it real and keep it simple.
Sister, I did not use any big word. I just quoted Elijah Muhammad. Now you're making interpretation.
It might be just like another family.
That's not what Elijah Muhammad said, but it's okay. Young Hair will feel free, brother. Feel free, brother. Young Hair, you wanted to speak.
Yeah, Shaka, I really don't have
can I say this? Did I answer the question? You asked me, did I answer it right?
Well,
you asked me what you said it's polytheistic, and I was trying to make you understand that even if the God that died 25,000 years ago, he was still a black man. So it's no difference. That's all.
Well, here you see, but since you're saying that, the Theology of Time, page 70, he wrote, we also have 23 gods here who write history. Who write and justify history once every 25,000 years. You see? So he did not say there's one God.
But it's talking about the generations of wise men amongst us that are gods.
You can say not talking about clearly.
Oh my God. It ain't clearly nothing. Because you know what? If you don't understand what Messer was talking, it's not clear to you, bruh. That's just clearly what you understand.
I understand what he said.
And I'm giving you the answer, and you still want to book what I'm saying. Okay, as though you know better than
me. No, it's not a matter of knowing better. It's just a matter of reading what Elijah Muhammad said. And we understand English and spoke in English.
Well, sister, sister. So you're saying that when you read something out of the Post-Time newspaper, that it really breaks down exactly what it's talking about. That's what you're saying.
Well, sister, I propose that we look at the Theology of Time, because you said you don't like to use the word died, right? Elijah Muhammad in the Theology of Time, page 235, he said, and it is written, the creator of this heaven and earth in which we live, he died.
We got the whole thing right there.
We already know that.
Excuse me, I didn't hear you.
Yeah, okay. The Theology of Time, page 235, Elijah Muhammad stated that the creator of this heaven and earth in which we live, he died. So
am I disputing what the messenger said? I said we don't like to use the word die in the nation. So now what are you telling me? Because it's wrote right here, that mean we do? It does not change the fact we don't like using the word die. But yes, if the messenger said that, that's exactly what he meant. And I stand on that. I'm not disputing him.
Thank you, sister. I'm not disputing
I just made a statement. We don't like to use the word die. God, you making a big deal out of that?
I'm not making
Oh
a
my
big deal.
God.
I'm just showing you what Elijah Muhammad said. Now,
Look, it does not take away from the fact that he also said we don't like to use the word die. Okay.
You know, he also said that white people are gods, right? Do you know that he also said that white people are gods? Elijah Muhammad said that white people are gods.
He taught us that the white man in America, though he is the devil, he is a god too. Yes, he sure did. Okay. So what's that got to do with anything?
And you know,
I don't understand your questioning. I really don't. Are you trying to disprove something or prove something?
Well, some people, it was thought that white people are devil, but he also said that the white people are gods. But you know, he also said that they will never be.
The devil is a god. The devil is a god. You don't think the devil is a god? He's being worshipped. What are you? Killer bee. Killer bee. Killer bee.
You don't need to call for killer bee. You're talking with me, sister. Now, did Elijah Muhammad say that the devil is a god?
He said he is a little G God. Yes, he did.
Yeah, but that's polytheism.
Okay, where does that come from?
The fact that the devil's being worshipped. The devil has control of this planet right now. The devil, and we talking about the white man devil. We ain't talking about no red person with no spear, no ears, and no tail.
I'm talking about.
So the white man is controlling everything. The white man has made himself the god of the planet.
Now, where in which book did Elijah Muhammad say that the devil is a god?
He said in law of his speeches. So I suggest that you go listen to some of them on YouTube right now.
I suggest you just tell me where it is.
Wait a minute. Listen to the one called "The Judgment of the World Is Now." Ain't that the name? The way it's titled, "The Judgment of the World Is Now." The 4 judgments of America. Listen to those, and you'll hear him talk about the white man, how he is a god too.
Okay, please quote.
He don't mean a god like us with the BG, with the big G. I tell you the difference in our language. If he said he was Allah, then you would have a problem. But he said he's a god. He didn't say he was Allah. He said he was a god. It's a difference.
Now, but you said that Elijah Muhammad stated that the devil is a god. Can you please read the quote from Elijah Muhammad?
I am stating to you that being Allah and being a god is 2 different things. We call Master Muhammad Allah God, or we call him God Allah, because that's his name. Anything could be a god. A pair of shoes could be a god. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about the fact that the devil, though he is an evil entity, he's still a god, and he is ruling the world right now.
Yes, but can you please read the quote from Elijah Muhammad where he said that the devil is a god?
Why should I do that? What's the point?
Because you claim that's what he said.
I know he said it. I've heard him say it in speeches and everything, but what has that got to do with anything?
Well, I'll just ask you if you can now. Maybe if you cannot.
And I'm saying for your mind, for your immature mind, it does not mean that he is the same as the black man being God.
I'm not asking you.
We are alive. He's not
you're throwing a lot of ad hominems. You're saying that I'm immature because I don't agree with your statement that you cannot back up.
No, I'm not saying you're immature because you don't agree with me. I'm saying you're immature because you're asking questions like an elementary school child.
Okay, but that's another ad hominem, but I live with that. But the thing is that you said that Elijah Muhammad stated that the devil is a god. I'm only asking you to quote it. If you cannot quote it now, if you cannot read it now, please tell me. And
I told you I would send you all this information. It's noted. Would y'all put that down? He also wants to know which speech where the messenger said the white man was God.
No, I would like you to quote, I would like to read it. I would like to read that quote from Elijah Muhammad.
I don't want to read it right now because that means I got to go in my files. That means I got to pull it up.
I understand. So you can
I got a library.
I understand. We can do that later, sister. Now, Elijah Muhammad said that. Yeah, thank you. Elijah Muhammad said that a Negro will never be the president under the Stars and Stripes of America, but Barack Obama was the president.
And he is not one of us. See, and I just said this, and this is so, you know what? I came over here because I thought you was really intelligent. I thought you was really a brother on your square, whether you believe in whether you believe in Kemet or whatever. But you being really elementary right now, and I did not expect it.
Disrespecting the nigga, bro. Like, come
on. But you are disrespecting Elijah. You are disrespecting everything by asking these immature elementary questions. question.
Make my statement, Shaka.
So let me finish. I'm talking to my aunt, Mr. Jamaica. My aunt.
Okay, she wasn't Mr. Jamaica. You see the ignorance?
It's okay. It's okay. It's
you
okay.
see why you don't waste
she's off
your
the panel.
time?
She's off the panel. She's off the panel.
You see what I'm talking about?
Yeah. That's it. Feel free. If you want to come on the panel, brothers and sisters, I've shared the link, man. Most of the time, people say, I get something for you, and most of the time, you never hear from those people. The way she said square, she is correct. They would have imprisoned him in the U.S. They would have never imprisoned Elijah Muhammad for having some religious marriages. Otherwise, they would have imprisoned the Mormons. So what should we do now? Should we wrap it up? Or do some people want to say what's up? Don't feel like you have to. Don't just get on the panel to make me happy. You know what I'm saying? Just come on if you feel like coming. You know what I'm saying? I know it's been an hour and 55 minutes already. So it's an opportunity if some people want to say what's up. You can feel free to ask questions and make statements about anything. It doesn't have to be that topic. I was around in the 60s. I'm older than the woman on the panel. Were you a member of the NOI, sister? We have about 50 people online right now. Wab Funk wrote, even though he grew up Muslim, so Obama is not one of us because he's not of slave stock, right? I see, man.
I was on mute. What's up, young girl? How you doing, brother?
Not bad, not bad. What's going on?
I'm chilling, brother. Laid back. How about
I
yourself?
see. Not bad, man. I was waiting to see who's gonna come on, but I guess ain't
You know,
nobody wanna talk
usually,
about it.
usually when it's the nation of Islam, people don't have much commentary.
Yeah, it's funny because wasn't this religion around before these black people got their hand on it? This Muslim religion. Did it where did it begin? Not in some Arab country.
Yes, in Arabia. And
Arabia, right?
even though Elijah Muhammad and Farrakhan said that Prophet Muhammad was white, some people believe that those people were black. So it's so confusing. But they're all over the place, just like the majority of the black Hebrew Israelites. Christians, they're usually not really in the game. When I say the game, I mean the conscious community, try to teach us a black man's religion, except for black Jesus minister. Uh, but yeah, that's our people. That's our people. They love this
Yeah.
literature so
So
much.
didn't they say that the messenger got his inspiration from Allah or what?
Elijah Muhammad claims that Prophet Muhammad is Allah, indeed.
So, but wasn't this religion around before him? So how did he get a message when the message was already here from Allah? So two different people got different messages from the same God, basically.
Wow.
I mean,
Not the
that's what
same
they.
God, not the same God, because Elijah Muhammad said that the God who created the heavens and the earth is dead. You know, and I shown that yesterday, but I can show it again.
So who he got the message from?
From this dude called Far Muhammad that he claims is Allah, because a lot of people don't know
Yeah, that's
that
crazy.
a lot of people don't know there is a theology of time. A lot of people don't know that. As Muhammad said, the creator of this heaven and earth in which we live, he died. A lot of people don't know that the nation of Islam has several gods. They are polytheistic. Many people don't know that, and that's that book right there. Before the nation of Islam, we of course had the Moorish Science Temple of America, and
Yeah.
there was also the Ahmadiyya movement. And Ahmadiyya, they have that dude who also claim to be the Mahdi. And Mahdi is kind of similar to Messiah, you know. So yeah, they have different movements and people claiming to be, close to God or having some revelations, and rest is
Yeah.
history.
Yeah, it's another man concept, like I said, all this heaven and earth and God and like it's never proven in the physical form. So
Mm,
and how it has a lot of myths in ancient time, just like it has a lot of myths in today's time. It has a lot of people that was actually real that go down in history and has records, just like it will have people that go down in history and have records today. So, that's all it's gonna be. So don't matter what kind of myth you hear about or what kind of God concept you hear about, it's all in the mind, and that's what it will always be, as far as I concerned, because your great great grandmother was waiting for a so-called God. Your grandmother was, your mother was, and so you will be, and your children will be, and that's just what it is. So whoever want to believe in whatever they want to believe is up to them. But like I said, show and prove in reality is none could do that. And as far as I concerned, the only person that people that's trying to or think they can explain it is scientists, because they actually trying to show and prove in physical form, no matter how much dangerous it might be, because I don't know what they're trying to achieve anyway.
yeah, and scientists, will not validate the teaching of Elijah Muhammad. For example, Yakub grafting white people out of black people over, if I'm not mistaken, a 600-year period. I think there was three steps of 200 years each, but don't quote me on that. But
Yeah, so I
six,
read that story.
yeah, and the story, like 76 trillion years ago, but no matter what the figure is, it's trillions of years ago, you know. And then so many other things, so many other things. But hey, to each his own, to each his own. But yeah, Shirley wrote that the NOR was very powerful in the 60s. Yes, they were very powerful. And, well, I don't know if I should say that they did a lot for the black community. They did a lot for black Muslims, for members of the Nation of Islam. They killed many black people, There's a Hanafi murders. Whole family was decimated. Men, women, and children were killed because the father of the head of the family, who was Karim Abdul-Jabbar's imam, criticized Elijah Muhammad, and in return, then they got killed. Just like Malcolm X got killed for having expressed criticism of Elijah Muhammad's lifestyle with his teenage secretaries. I mean, whether they were wives or not, he had children with those women, So
Yeah. What you were saying?
and
Shaka,
yes,
hold on, my brother. I want to ask you a question.
yes, you're free.
Yeah, that's
What's up, Shaka?
just speaking.
Hey,
Hey,
it was. Oh, I did not understand. Yeah. How you doing?
Pretty good, bro. Hey, are you familiar with Farad Muhammad and his association with the Madame Blavatsky Eastern occultism stuff and all that extra stuff?
Well, who spoke on that? Because in my presentation for my debate against Wesley Muhammad, I kind of deal with some similarity, but I forgot who touched on that.
Yeah, I know. Said he has a good video on it, but that's why they always refer to the black man as the Asiatic black man. You feel me? It's based on that whole uh, theory of thought. So that's where that
I
all
mean,
came.
I'm gonna try to look at my PowerPoint and if I do a search, I should see it. But there's a Theosophical Society, and there was something that was similar.
The Theosophical Society.
Yeah. So here, look at the. I mean, I made obviously that PowerPoint, a decade ago, because Wesley Muhammad charged me in 2011, if I'm not mistaken. Then he backed down. Let me see. Blavatsky, Blavat. So, oh yeah, the Book of God. I have it in the back. I'm just gonna get it. Hold on, just 1 second. In that book by Dr. Wesley Muhammad, but at the time it was known as True Islam. This is a new revised edition of the Book of God. So if it is new, if it's a revised edition, it means that obviously he went through it to verify.
Yeah, that's where that whole
Blavatsky,
concept came from, probably.
yeah.
Asiatic black man.
Oh, I don't know if it comes from Blavatsky, but she is quoted 40 times. She is quoted over 40 times in the Book of God. I stopped counting after 40 times, It's like Moses, 40 nights and 40 days. And now in that book, you know what? I never even shared that, but those are slides that I had, but they were like um slides that I've basically hidden those slides, because sometimes you want to work on the. But you know what? Let me just show. I wish yes, it's gonna be different. We need to go there.
Just put it
Go there. In that book, I will show it. I will show it. You have to see some things. You have to see to believe. Mute. Stop cam. Share present. Share screen. All right. So, Muhammad's father was a jet black man, according to their teaching. He was called Alfonso. Fat Muhammad's mother was a Caucasian woman raised in the Caucasus region of Eurasia. And her name, according to tradition, was reportedly Baby G. Now, this is Helena Blavatsky. And here, the Theosophical Convention, December 1884. Look at how they are dressed. And from the phenotype, it looks like many of those people, if not most of them, are of Indian descent.
Or Arabic.
I would say, can I make it larger? Oh yes, I can. Can I go up and down? They definitely look Indian. The headdress, like the turban tabos, like the Sikh people. Okay, when I say Sikh, I think it's spelled Sikh. It's not Sikh like sickness. It's
okay.
Let me double check it. I think it's Sikh. Sikh. Sikhs. Never Sikhism. Well, actually, it's called Sikh or Sikhism. So, yeah. Now, Far Muhammad, most evidence points that he is, he was from India. And if we compare, now there's a reference at the bottom, Blavatsky archive, there's a link. But if we compare the dress style with the Moorish Science Temple of America, very similar. And some people say that this guy here was Far Muhammad. I don't know if it's true or not, but some people say that Far Muhammad was part of the Moorish Science Temple of America, headed by Drew Ali. This is Drew Ali here. And that's the guy who, according to the newspaper that Kirby shared with us, married a 13-year-old girl. So you have the seal of the Theosophical Society. Now, this may look like a swastika to some people, but the swastika was a symbol out of Asia. It has nothing to do with, with the Nazi. The Nazi took on that symbol. But that reminds me of the Nubians. The Nubians, they had like what we call the Star of David. They had the Ankh. There's even a snake here. And here, this is the Theosophical Society seal. That's the seal or the symbol, the logo of the Nubians. Here, that's a symbol of the Shriners. And then we can see the flag of Islam, which is really the Turkish flag, but not in the same direction. And of course, we have the 5%ers. We have the crescent behind the 7, and then we have the star. So I don't think I have many more things.
Yeah, look the same. They're all the same.
The whirling cross. But
they are the same. I think if
Um,
we have to get to is that 7.
I want to show.
He's talking about some 7.
There it is.
Seti
You
did.
see, this guy is called Comte Saint Germain. What's Muhammad in that book here? That's what he said of the dude. He was clearly the son of one of the dominant black scientists. Black ancestry was clearly noted by Madame de Genlis. She says of him, his complexion dark. So when the dude writes his book Black Arabia, that I have in the back, and he talks about Black Prophet Muhammad. As a matter of fact, let me just show you something. That's Black Arabia, but with my baby girl. The book cover did not survive, but all the rest is intact. You have this book here, God's Black Prophets. And I'm going to use that thing here so you can see. This guy is funny. Now, hold on. Oh, okay, I have it. Okay, that's great. Screen. I have to minimize the window. Where is it? Should be okay. That's a book by, as you can see, Professor Mohammed, PhD. He wrote a book about, as you can see, God's prophets. So this is a Persian depiction of Prophet Muhammad. The Shiites are the only one who make depictions or who used to make depictions of Prophet Muhammad. The Sunni Muslims, they don't. This is a depiction allegedly of Prophet Muhammad. That wasn't one of the seal of some Muslim soldiers. But the date is like way after the lifetime of Prophet Muhammad. This is one of the well-known depiction of Jesus, painting of Jesus. And this here, this is really like a black man according to Western Muhammad. Now, plate 3 here. And that's taken from that thing here. So that's plate 2, and that's a blown up. And what does it say about plate 2? Come on, man. Oh. Okay. Richard the Lionheart versus Saladin. Lucial Psalter, Diocese of Lincoln, circa 1325. 1325 to 1335. So that's nearly that's close to 700 years after the lifetime of Prophet Muhammad. And Richard the Lionheart, if I'm not mistaken, is a fictional story. The Lionheart. Oh no, I mistook with the Song of Roland. No, he was a historical figure because he mentions the Song of Roland when he gives a depiction, a physical description of the Arab. The quote that he has. Maybe it's in the book Song of Roland. Oh no, don't have his name here. But never mind. I don't want to be too long with this. So the other one for Jesus There it is. This is a reconstruction of a face of Jesus by Richard Neve based on advances in forensic anthropology. This is just a reconstruction. This is not a painting. And of course, you have the typical so-called depictions of Hebrews or Israelite, and people think that because they have those so-called cores or Bantu notes, then that makes them black people. You know, the same old thing that people have been rolling with.
What are the Canaanites?
No, no. I mean, here it says on the Lakish reliefs in the British Museum, Israelite prisoners are shown being sent into exile and flayed alive by the Assyrians under Sennacherib, whose capture of Judean cities is recorded in 2 Kings 18:13. And it's only because of those cores, so-called Bantu knots.
Yeah.
They say that it represents kinky hair, but I've shown that it's absolutely not the case. And Bruno Korashidi also have been claiming that stuff, you know. Then he will show you people like this and say those are modern day black Arabs, Mahra Arabs from Southern Arabia. And in India, you have black people as well. Some people would tell you that they are descendants of slaves, you know. It's so good to show people today and use contemporaneous pictures and claim that, you know, they have always been there. But to me, it's just amusing. But anyway, in his book here, let me unshare this and go back to the PowerPoint. Something crazy that he says. Gotta show it, but hold on, if I do this. No, I should share from that. Share from that computer. Just there. So this is Comte Saint-Germain. Was apparently prepared like Musa, that's Moses, the professor, the swayer of the signers of the Declaration of Independence, and Far Muhammad to be able to go among whites and not be detected. That's from that book, the Book of God, okay? And when you go on Britannica, Encyclopedia Britannica, they say of Saint-Germain that of his real name or parentage and place of birth, nothing is definitely known. The common version is that he was a Portuguese Jew. So funny coming from the Nation of Islam. For those who don't know, Yaqub is just a Arabic pronunciation of Jacob.
Oh yeah, I never knew that.
Now you know, brother. Now, he was clearly the son of one of the dominant black scientists. I mean, to me, he looks like Bill Clinton. So he was clearly the son of one of the dominant black scientists who produced him through a white mother to affect the complexion that was needed of him. See portrait above, figure 41. But his black ancestry was clearly noted by Madame de Genlis as she describes his appearance. She says of him, he was somewhat below middle size, well made, and active in his gait. His hair was black, his complexion dark. I mean, this guy has a dark complexion, man. This is insanity at this point. His face expressive of talent, his features regular. That's page 263 of the same book here. That same book here. And the capitals, his complexion dark, are just as they appear in the book. You know, it's not an emphasis added by me. That's how he wrote it in his book. Now, He further said, as we have noted earlier, one of the duties of the scientists is to fulfill the scriptures. Thus, the scientists are sent out among the people to make sure certain events take place. Saint Germain's political activity clearly demonstrates his membership on the August Council. And you have the page numbers all the time at the bottom. So you have different links for the different. This is a book about Comte Saint Germain. It is clear by the above chronology of events in which the count played significant roles that he was sent by the council to fulfill prophecy. Oh, it's not here. Hold on. I have to do a search then. Do the search. Oh, hold on. Let me go here. I mean, I have a video about that. Let me share a video. I should have it somewhere in the PowerPoint, but it's been a very long time. I didn't open that one. So if I put you're gonna see the title, you're gonna trip. In the chat, I'm sharing this title here. Oh, Jehovah's joined us. How you doing, brother?
What's going on, Shaka?
Chilling. Just hold on for one moment, please.
Okay.
So, prophet of evil, nation of Islam scientists. I mean, I used to have equal Nation of Islam scientists. So, I'm gonna skip the ad when I can.
And declares that the decrees of providence. Oh, you ask them, they tell you.
So here it says his identity as one of the scientists is confirmed. So this is a scientist of the God of the Nation of Islam, which means that he's a god, because they have 23 scientists or 24 scientists, and the scientists are gods, So this is a god of the Nation of Islam, just like Father Muhammad is a white dude. And here on page 270 of the book, once again, that book, Dr. Wesley Muhammad, known as True Islam then, didn't have the PhD yet. He quotes, the Count agreed to meet Madame Daimar in the church of the Recollets to discuss further these prophecies. He said these revealing words to her. Saint Germain, SG stands for Saint Germain, I am Cassandra. So the god of the Nation of Islam is called Cassandra. Cassandra is a female name.
Yeah, that's my sister name, man.
Yeah,
I got a cousin name. I got a cousin named Cassandra.
There it is.
That man look white to me too. So,
yes.
He is white.
Clearly.
Ain't no look white.
But those guys,
it's crazy, bro. Like,
World Funk is asking, confirmed by who? Ask Wesley Muhammad. That's in his book here. You know what I'm saying? And Tariq Nasheed used to make fun of some people sometimes. There was a girl used to call, but he used to say, no, that's a dude, that's a tranny, and he nicknamed her Cassandra. So he used to troll a lot. So here, what else? Look at those names: Alfonso, Father Muhammad's father; Baby G, Father Muhammad's mother; Cassandra. No non-Muslim names, non-Arabic names. But anyway, what else? Page 70. I am Cassandra, prophet of evil. The Nation of Islam have a God who is a prophet of evil. Man.
And just for the novelty of it, I'm going to show you directly from the book. So let me do this to reduce the window again so I can share it. There it is. Larger again. So the Book of God, Revised Edition. And he says at the bottom, an encyclopedia of proof that the black man is God, with a question mark. Published by A-Team Publishing, and A-Team is basically Allah Team. See, True Islam, A-Team Publishing. And those guys somewhere on the website, I mean, I have the screen capture somewhere. For them, Atom is Allah, the original man, but you know. So let's look at page 170. I mean, you know, this is Muhammad written in Arabic without the diacritical marks. You know, that's the M, or I think they call it Mim. That's the Ha. That's the M again. And that's a D, Muhammad. So Western Muhammad put that this way and it's like he's a man. 270. That's Comte Saint-Germain right from his book, man. His dark complexion. He looks like Bill Clinton, man. Figure 41, Portrait of Saint-Germain. If this is not insanity. Muhammad, figure 42, Mustafa Muhammad. His father is supposedly jet black. Oh. Snap. See that? Page 270. Count agreed to meet Madame Dahima in the church of the Recorders to discuss further these prophecies. He said his revealing words to her. Saint-Germain, I am Cassandra, prophet of evil. And back then I had plenty of views with that video, but the Amira squad, you know what they did. So feel free, Jeheru.
Prophet of evil, huh?
Yes.
That's crazy, man. It's so funny. Like I told you, all these things is just made up. Nothing is not new under the sun, you know. So they got information like they used to be reading the Bible, and it seemed to me that there's two different kind of Islams. One is Arabic and one is these people here that say, you know, they Muslims too. So I don't know. Like I said, to each their own. Where's the Aragon?
It is here, but I can show you. I'm sure we have a mention of the scientists here. Scientists. Here, you see, that's the theology of time. Right there. Page 55. Do that. So, page 55, we, the Nation of Islam, our scientists, our gods, they don't need a navy. Here it says, in the book, The God Tribe of Shabazz, The True History, the light of truth which the scientists of the East were not able to give you will come from the West. Here it says, in the Lost Found Muslim lesson number 1, known as 114, that's what the Nation of Islam members learned by heart. Musa came 2,000 years later and taught him how to live a respectful life, how to build a home for himself, and some of the technology that Yaqub taught him, which was devilishment, telling lies, stealing, and any
I'm sorry, stealing anyhow to master the original man. Musa was half original, a prophet, which was predicted by the 23 scientists in the year 1, 15,019 years ago today. Here says in the book, The God Tribe of Shabazz, True History, the continent of Africa at that time was called the jungles of East Asia. So when you hear Farrakhan say, so Shabazz took his people in the area that we now call Africa. I'm sorry. So Shabazz took his people in the jungles of East Asia that we now call Africa. He didn't make it up. This is the teaching of Elijah Muhammad. Our
Wow.
people who are there today came from a scientist who wanted to make a people who was capable of withstanding the hot sun and could get along with the beast and other wild animals of the jungle. The origin of our Kiki here, says Allah. That's from Message to the Black Man in America. Elijah Muhammad's most famous book. The origin of our kinky here, says Allah, came from one of our dissatisfied scientists 50,000 years ago who wanted to make all of us tough and hard in order to endure the life of the jungles of East Asia, and you see that, Africa, and to overcome the beasts there. But he failed to get the others to agree with him. He took his family and moved into the jungle. Remember, Farrakhan? So Shabazz, so into the jungle to prove to us that we could live there and conquer the wild beasts, and we have. So yeah, that's a mention of the scientists, and yeah, they have several gods. You see here, a Theology of Time, page 70. We also have 23 gods here who write and justify history once every 25,000 years. So their gods have a expiration date. They are equal with the people's degrees. They both measure the same 3.5 degrees. It's equal almost with the gods that rule. They are really 24, but this number is used whenever they make up history. So every 25,000 years, they change gods, man. Feel free, brothers.
Man, that's crazy. I didn't know they was that pseudo, man. I'm gonna tell you, I actually had started reading that book, Message to the Black Man, right? And then I'm trying to remember. I got to a point where I stopped because, okay, like I was born and raised Christian, right? So once I, got over that hump and, found out all about Christianity and stuff like that, I started listening to Farrakhan, Wesley Muhammad, and all them. And for a while, I was cool with them. And then, it was just, um, I think it might have been around the time I found Sinetta, man. But I would see like lectures and stuff, people talking about Islam, and then when I seen Farad Muhammad, who he was, that was it for me. I was like, ain't no way, because they always talked about black this, black that, and then when I seen who they was talking about, who they calling God and Allah was Farad Muhammad, this white dude, I said, oh no, ain't no way. I couldn't believe it, man. But it was a
Man, no
point where I
way.
got in that mess to the black man. I stopped because I'm like, this ain't adding up. You know what I mean? I think I was reading about what they was talking about when Elijah met, when he had the encounter with Farad Muhammad. I think that's where I stopped at.
And what is it? Hold on. I'm sorry. Even Clara Muhammad, Elijah Muhammad's wife, she met Far Muhammad first, and she told her husband about Far Muhammad.
Oh, really?
She said, yeah, she said that he looked like a white man. Now, this is a picture of Kalila with the guy that she said is Far Muhammad.
Yeah.
Kalila, who is Muhammad Ali's ex-wife. I think she was the second wife, maybe the third. I don't think she was the first one.
Hmm.
And I can share the link in the chat here. This is Omar Shabazz. I bought his DVD set by the NOI Malcolm X. So the video is 14 minutes long. I ain't gonna play it now, but I've played it before. You know what's amazing? I didn't even know that Shirley is a sister that came on. What's the other thing I wanted to say?
I forgot.
You said Shirley.
No, no. Before that, you talked about when you saw who Far Muhammad is. But
Mm-hmm.
I read Message to the Brahmin a long time ago. But some things get over your head. And
Mm-hmm.
when I read, again, and then we have the PDF, and you can search within the PDF, then you can see things differently. But this is a sister. She's been a supporter for a long time. I didn't even know because look, where is it? She wrote, if you haven't lived something, you don't know. And Storm is asking her. Storm also has been in the NOI for a long time as well. Storm even said that she's planning on writing a book. I mean, she said that publicly in some of the comments. She's
Mm-hmm.
planning on writing a book about her experience in the Nation of Islam. So she wrote, Shirley, were you the sister that was here yesterday? And she wrote, Storm, yes, I was. So it's amazing that the sister's been there she's been there for a minute, as a supporter, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So Wapfong says more fiction. Do they mean Babi G or Baba G? Because that's Punjabi. Well, Dr. Wasim Muhammad touched on that, trying to explain, justify, and indeed there is this term of respect for elders. It's like saying auntie, and it's like Baba G, but then that's the term that's used in India. So nearly all evidence points to the fact that Prophet Muhammad came from India, and I haven't finished that book. I'm really at the beginning, but this is, to my knowledge, the first PhD who wrote a book about the Nation of Islam, or let's say about Prophet Muhammad. Let me correct myself. There's another one that's a dissertation from Fanusi, Fatima Fanusi, I think her name is. Prophet Muhammad in historical context, but she hasn't found a publisher yet. So I've emailed her. She told me that she's waiting for a publisher. Next to this wrote, they played too much. Storm wrote, okay, assalamu alaikum and Ramadan Kareem. Maybe one day I would like to join the panel and speak with you. Well, sisters, feel free to get on the panel now. In case you don't know, the link is there. Well, two sisters have been in the NOR for a long time. Get on the panel. Well,
Mm.
Frankie was indeed an Asiatic black man. I think he still
Yeah.
is. Ha ha ha, technology. Some wrote, actually, I know, I read that. Some folks are gullible. They made it work for a while though. They made it work for a while. Next to this wrote fraud. JTV wrote excellent teaching, Shaka. Thank you, sir. You're welcome. Hey, brothers and sisters, I don't mind any the Cash App or PayPal or Super Chat. I know. I don't mind. If somebody wants to, I don't mind. Yep, that's fine. All right. Feel free to add on, brothers.
Yeah, that lady that was on yesterday, I seen
Shirley.
her before. What that is that who that was? I thought her
Yeah,
name was
yeah.
Alila.
Well, I mean, she. Some people have like the government name and they have other names.
Oh, okay.
So
I
but
didn't
that's
know.
that's
Oh, I
that's the
didn't know
sister
that was
here.
her.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah, that's her.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Cause yeah, I heard her. She was on another show.
Killer
I
B,
think.
Killer B the Witchfinder.
No, it was on Psychopathia.
Oh, I don't know that one.
Yeah, he be on Chris channel sometimes, and I was watching one of his
Oh,
shows.
Sabio.
Not Sabio.
Oh, okay.
His
I
name
was.
is Psychopathia.
That's him. That's Sabio. Sabio
Oh,
is like
that's
probably his government name. Sabio Robinson. I mean, damn you. Are they related? Because the sister, I think, is Aaliyah Robinson. Surely, are you related to Sabio? Because Sabio put my mother in the mix, so I'm planning on. I don't want to talk too much.
I
Talk
don't
is
think
cheap,
that was
but
Sabio though, Shaka, because I know Sabio's voice. I know Sabio. His name on YouTube is like that. Psychological Shackle Breakers.
yeah, indeed, indeed. So it's a different username then, is it?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
This
okay,
guy, his
okay,
name
okay,
is Psychopathias. Um, he does a
okay,
lot of live streaming and stuff like that. But she was
okay.
on one of his shows one day, and her and Chris was kind of going back and forth, and she got that was heated because Chris got mad, he got off or whatever. But yeah, that I knew when she came on, I was like, oh man, this good. But I think she should write a book. Since she said, she got a lot of inside info, I think she should write a book because apparently, I mean, she disagreed with a whole lot of stuff. I guess that's already been, out there and published in these books. Some of the stuff you were talking about, she's saying, no, it's not true. I think she need to write a book.
Yeah, I don't think she want to do that, man. She might
Yeah.
get slander and all kind of lawsuit. Yeah,
I
everybody
don't
have
think so.
their opinion, but for them to speak for other people, I mean, she could
Well,
write on her story. Yeah, I
yeah,
guess.
I would love to hear from Nasir. The guy who owns the men's publication. Nasir Makar Hakim. I would love to hear him speak about not being in the nation of Islam when Elijah Muhammad died.
So Khalif says the
Yeah,
sister was
yeah.
trying to explain the NOI to you guys. Yeah, okay, if that's what you say.
You gotta have both sides of the story.
I mean, yeah, because a whole lot of stuff like she was like, no, that's not true, and I don't know. I'm like, man, okay, I kind of got this notion like she know everything about NOI. I'm like, come on now.
The people had experiences, what I'm saying, but the most important is the teaching of Elijah Muhammad. So I'm mainly
Mhm.
quoting Elijah Muhammad. I may quote other people, but
Mhm.
Yeah,
yeah.
we ain't really get into nothing personal, especially like people talking about his call or whatever. But we speaking on the information and the doctrine, and
Oh
you
yeah.
know what I'm saying. So yeah, we quoting him too. Like so, people could say what they want, but people speak for themselves, and you can't put words in a man's mouth. He said what he said, and you can't be changing his words up to your liking neither.
Yeah, she was trying to clean it up.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, yeah. I'm still waiting for that quote, Shirley. Still waiting for that quote. Elijah Muhammad saying that the devil is God. The devil is a god, not God, but a god.
Yeah, I was listening to that show yesterday, and I was like, oh, I said, man, it was quite an exchange.
Yeah, I mean, it was cool for the most part. Then every now and then, she threw some dominance. So I'm used to that, man. And for
Yeah,
years,
right.
our uncle used to talk about my skin color. Don't show me your white hands, acting like he never saw my face. But my face was my profile picture back when I had dreadlocks. Some people have, memory issues, or they pretend that they have memory issues. They don't recollect. They have no recollection of some stuff when it suits them,
Exactly.
you know. And then, back then, people used to say I'm an agent. Then when I was cool with them, everything's all good in the hood. And then I
Yeah,
disagreed with the man who are teaching. Why is he so interested in our stuff? Why doesn't he focus about France? And then lately we've been hearing people saying, why doesn't he talk about child molestation in France? Like like you got scared about the child molestation in France. Those guys don't even care about the child molestation in the backyard.
yeah, and it's
But
it's it's everybody, bro. So they even do it to each other when they cool with each other. When they're not, they're child molester, they're scammers, they
oh
already
yeah,
call each other everything in the book. So we could believe all of them because everybody already say everything about each other. So ain't no sides to choose. They did the same thing.
yeah.
Right. I agree.
The latest really kill me is Sanetta saying that he loves the Bible. But he's on record, and that's like 2 months old, maybe three now. And he says the God of the Bible is a liar, he's demonic, and he's a
Mhm.
bipolar motherfucker.
Oh
Like,
yeah, I
man,
heard him say that before.
this dude, yeah, I have it there. I have the clip.
Hmm.
You know, this dude is such a fence rider. That sister was in the NY under Mr. Muhammad. So,
That don't mean everything she's saying is true.
Khalila Muhammad. Let me check that her name is Khalila Muhammad. I think she kept the surname Muhammad. But I would like to be um possible. Uh, Muhammad ex wife. She was under Mr. Muhammad. When they say Muhammad, of course, that's Oh, well, actually, it's Kalila Camacho Ali. You see, so it's good to double check. And she was under Elijah Muhammad. She lived in his house. She lived in. She said that the woman, the secretaries, they were. He said they were hoes, man.
Yep, she did.
She
Yeah,
said that.
yeah,
And she was living in the same house.
yeah.
Okay, buddy.
I don't know why so many people in denial about that, man.
You know,
Just
like I
like the whole
said,
Malcolm X thing. I mean, for whatever reason, they will not own up to that Malcolm X stuff. But it's like, okay,
yeah, well, they might not want to, but they already did because their leader already said it on his own mouth,
oh
you know.
yeah, yeah,
So there's like they could say what they want, but one of the people them that was in rank already said what he said, you know what I mean? And it's the same thing with the thing you say they can, like, he was just another man that made mistakes like any other man. So everybody always trying to defend people when they already, that's their actions. They have to speak for themselves, you know what I mean? So it's like it is what it is. Like, they're trying to make these people untouchable, or like perfect, and just so they could hold them to a higher standard to try to prove a point to because of their doctrine and their belief. That's all it is, man. For every religion, it's the same thing, and nobody can show and prove. But like I said, hey, to each his own. But the facts is the facts, and if the man walked the earth, that means he was flesh and blood. That means he eat, sleep, and just like everybody else, and he made mistakes just like everybody else. Period. I mean, it is what it is.
Let me just say, just before I introduce our sister Andrea Bennett, Stone wrote addressing Caliph. She must have been because Anwar post 75 are instructed not to engage on social media with disbelievers. All right. So I wonder who instructed that. But anyway, Sister Andrea Bennett, feel free.
Hi, gentlemen. No, so I just wanted to say, when listening to that lady and she was talking about how she grew up in all that and all that kind of stuff, and she knows stuff, right? I mean, like coming from a big family, there's some things that the older kids would know that the young kids don't, right? So you can come from the same family, be all up in there, but everybody's not going to know the same information, right? Like I'm almost 10 years older than my youngest brother, and my older sister is 13 years older than him, right? So there's things he's not going to know because where he's at in the line. So she may know some stuff, but she doesn't know everything. I mean, unless she lived with them personally or whatever they did, if you still don't know everything. You know what you know as much as you know that you know. And the same thing in our family. My older sister, she knows a little bit more than, even though we're kind of close in age, she still has a couple years on me. So she experienced things that I might not have. And even if you're just three to the family, the middle child always feels neglected, and I'm left out because I'm the middle child. You got the older one and the baby, So you don't know how stuff affects people's psyche. She may be okay with what she knows or whatever. Doesn't sound like it to me. It sounds like she's very defensive, because I listened to that whole thing the other day, and I mean, I was like, you came in here with the mindset of being defensive, and so that's how you projected yourself to the gentleman on the panel, because some of that wasn't even necessary. I mean, she said, I go on all these panels and I do all this and I do all that, and but you came with a defensive mindset, and so anytime if any of you guys said anything, she was going to come back at you with something, because because of how she has encountered other people. But that she shouldn't have come that way, because I don't see where you disrespected her. Anybody disrespected her the whole time she was on the panel. I didn't hear it, but I did hear it coming from her. And like I said, everybody's entitled to their opinion. Everybody's entitled to, if you know what you know, good on you. Good on you. Nobody trying to fight all that, but you can't come and insult people, which is what she did by trying to say, Jamaica. Hi, hey, young Heru from Jamaica.
Hello.
I mean, it's ridiculous, for her to make these assumptions on your behalf, And then when you bring her the stuff on from what you read, all of a sudden you're not qualified, Frenchie. You're not qualified, right, to be telling her what you read in the book. But she can come at you and insult you the way, assuming just because you're from another country, you can't possibly understand and know what goes on in America. And that's just unfortunate. I don't know why we do that to each other. I thought this was all about trying to come together and promote the Black community and stuff like that. But for all these people who keep coming on here and trying to make it a point of division, is ridiculous. That's where these religions make it a point of dividing us instead of us coming together. And there's not one that I know of that doesn't want you to separate from your families and do all that stuff, because they all think they all hold the truth of what it takes for us to be quote unquote saved, or whatever the word they want to use. And we keep going through this stuff over and over again. And it's just ridiculous. I agree with young Heru and Jay Heru. I agree with everything y'all said today, because and Shaka too, because I mean, that goes without saying, but we really have to be careful how we come at each other, because it's all about trying to build up the Black community and not trying to put this stuff in the middle and say, you're uneducated, or, well, you got a 3rd or 4th, 8th grade education. How's that supposed to be helping the discussion on the panel? Because that's what it was supposed to be, just a good discussion, and not for anybody to get all their panties in a wad. We're not supposed to be doing all that.
But the thing is that a lot of times I've experienced that, nearly all my life. A lot of times people are older than you, they feel like they know better than you, by default, automatically. And they like to say at one point, you don't know what you're talking about. I've been there, I lived before you. But the thing is that there's life in general, and indeed somebody that has more, someone that's older than you, most likely lived in the time when it was harder than the current situation. I remember, my parents telling me about how it was, and my other family members, and me hearing them, and like, damn, what I'm saying, it's much better now. But now I grow up, I see the children now, and I'm like, yeah, nowadays, we get the belt and all kind of stuff. Now you cannot really hit your children now, you know what I'm saying? And technology in general, mobile phones, now I'm from the time when you had those phones, like you would die like this with the
right, the rotary.
Yeah,
the rotary.
And then we had the
push
buttons. Yeah, had the wireless phone, like that. That was the
like the computer
best thing ever. Yeah, it was the best thing ever, man.
You get one tonight.
And it had to be charged. You know what I'm saying? It had to be charged on the base.
I remember them.
Yeah. Then we went through the you call them pages. We used to call them beepers. Pages. You know what I'm saying? And then the mobile phones. The first ones are very big as well. And then now we have smartphones. Like, it's crazy, But a lot of time people assume, like Black Jesus minister, he was like, yeah, this is Sunday school, I can tell never been to churches, but the guy is misquoting the Bible, you know what I'm saying? But,
and the thing is too, we have to realize that we don't know everything either. I don't care how old we are. All of us should still be learning. We should never get to the point where we think we know it all. And we should, if we're not learning anymore, then something's wrong. You can hold on to your beliefs and your religion. You can do all that, but that doesn't stop us from learning. And sometimes it's the younger people that help us to see a thing in a different way. And if we keep cutting you guys off, it's going to limit our growth. And I don't want to do that. I'm all about knowledge. I mean, when y'all recommend books and stuff, I either try to go get a copy of it and read it, or load it down on a Kindle and read it, because I'm like, some of the stuff I haven't heard, and I'm like, I'm glad these guys, a lot of these young men have gone out there, and women have gone out there and done some of this homework to give us some insight as to what things would be helpful for us to even learn even more. Because I'll be the last one to say I know it all, even though sometimes I do try to come across like I know it all, but I know I don't. I mean, which one is that one?
Kindle.
Is that I can't see that.
Yeah, that's a Kindle 360, but
Oh, okay. But like I said, you guys, you bring fresh information, and I think that's what's missing. We can go back and look at all the old stuff over and over and over and over and over again, and it served its purpose to a certain degree. But as we keep going forward, we have to understand that there are other things that are coming out that we can't tell our kids now who've been raised up on the cell phone and laptops and stuff like that. I mean, they know, some of my grandkids know more about the technology than I do. And I'm like, and I'm not really trying to learn all that. I'm good. So give me the basics. Let me know how to turn it on, turn it off, text, and then dial a number. Outside of that, I don't care how, and take some pictures. I don't need to know all the rest of that stuff. I don't need to know how to, I had to figure out how to get to this StreamYard stuff because I had never done that before. It's kind of new to me. But I'm learning. There's little things you learn along the way that are beneficial. That's going to be beneficial. Some of that stuff you just don't need to know. It's all good.
Yeah. And the fact that we can download books, man, that's crazy.
And the fact that I can see you on the other side of the world. We don't even have to be in the same spot. You are in a whole nother part of the world and we're talking. I can see your face and you can see mine. Back in the day, everything was long distance. It cost you an arm and a leg, call somebody if you live even around the corner. Because we lived where we lived, just the next city over was long distance. So, we don't have none of that anymore. I mean, everything's changed. And so, if we're not moving with the changes, we're going to be stuck in a rut. And we'll never catch up.
Thing. So a lot of people need to stop living in the past,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if Shaka know the Beanie Man song. Stop living in the past.
I don't know that
Remember
one.
when man ride horse? Yeah. So just showing like people need to stop thinking like things are not the same, and everywhere you go, it have different people that have different characters to their behavior. So in saying that is nothing new, like Shaka said. So it always going to have these people that opposition to their own people because of where they come from or how they speak, because they people is a human thing. People think the world revolves around them. They could be on a rock, and that's the issue. People think everything revolves around them, and it has billions of people on the earth. So it's small-minded people that think so once they have whatever they have and they comfortable in their little circle, is they against the world, and it's always against their own people. It's not the people that knocking them down or have them in the situation they are in, because they don't want to fight the real fight. The easy fight is to go against their own kind, and that's why you see when they killing each other, nobody don't speak up, but you never see them attacking no other race just because of something petty, So in saying that, it just speaks volume, man. Like unless people get over the pettiness of this world, and especially with religion and race and where he's from. If it's not about the person character and values and morals, then I don't know what we're doing, So yeah.
Hold on, please bear with me. I actually need to use the bathroom, so I'm gonna play Falcon speech. It's 3 minutes and 18 seconds long.
So Shabazz was not permitted to stay in that area, so he took his family into the jungle of East Asia, which we now call Africa, to make a people close to nature. And the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, this is the origin of kinky hair, because we didn't have kinky hair prior to that. The hair on our head was like the hair on our eyebrows. The hair on your eyebrows straight, the hair on your head is not the same as the hair on your eyebrow. But the hair of every other people is the same as their eyebrow. Your eyebrow straight, your hair something different. Wouldn't you like the hair on your head to be as straight as the hair on your eyebrow? That's why you're so busy frying it. That's why you're so busy pulling it. Because your nature tells you that the kink I mean, with I'm black and I'm proud, we got to learn to be proud of kinks. Because most of your family of other black people on the earth, jet black. They didn't have no broad nose and thick lips and kinky hair. They were dark-skinned people, jet black. But they had straight hair, a thinner lip, a thinner nose. But we are marked as a different kind of black person. And we were rejected and despised, not only from the circle of the gods, but we were despised and rejected by all the other dark people of the earth. This is why today black people with kinky hair and broad nose and thick lips are rejected in every society. I want you to hear me well tonight. Yes, sir. Why are we rejected? Because the essence of beauty is in obedience and submission to God. And the essence of ugliness is when you rebel against God. And when you rebel against God, in your rebellion, you are marked with a certain mark of your rebellion, which is the disfigurement of your internal self, which manifests in the disfigurement of your external self. And this is why when you look at our people, wherever we are found on the earth, you find us either disfiguring ourselves physically because we are disfigured on the inside because of rebellion.
It never gets old. You know, brothers and sisters, just in case you don't see me live streaming much in the next few days or the next few weeks, you don't need to worry, because I really need to get spend more time with my studies. Lately, I've been live streaming like crazy, you know, beefing with Scam Cheddar and the rest of the pedals, you know. So just wanted to put that out there, sorry.
Yeah, I wanted to say too, you know, when you know, about the past. When you're driving a car, right, you have that whole big windshield, right, and you got that small rear view mirror that allows you to take a glance back every now and then, and then you got your two side mirrors. If we focus too much on that rear view and the side mirror, what's going to happen, right? We can't keep looking through the rear view mirror, because if we stay fixated on that, we're going to get in. You know, we're in the condition we're in now because we're fixated on too much on trying to figure out that history back then. That's fine, and we need to know who we are and where we came from, and all that's well and good. But it shouldn't be the focus of all of our attention. There's a lot of stuff that's going on, and you bringing the attention to the child, the pedophilia and all that kind of stuff. That's a forward-looking thing that we constantly have to keep our eyes open for, right? But if we're constantly just looking back, you keep trying to, you know, as young Harry was saying, you know, trying to defend somebody who's already gone and all this other kind of stuff. I mean, to what avail does that give us, right? I mean, all we know is we know that those people, you know, the people existed, and, you know, my parents are deceased, and I have my memories of my parents and stuff like that. But I can't keep, you know, if I'm supposed to be grown up, I can't be acting like a child and you know, constantly saying, well, my parents did this and I don't know. You know, there comes a time when all that stuff has to stop. But if you're constantly looking back, you're going to be constantly reminded of whatever it is that you're supposed to grow up from. And we can't keep doing that. And I think that's what's been a detriment to us. We keep constantly looking back, trying to figure out. And some things you're just never going to know. And that's okay. We're never going to know where we came from, as far as did we come from Adam and Eve, or we're never going to know that. And that's okay. But if we keep trying to figure that stuff out, we stay stuck in a rut, waiting on somebody to come and save us out. Save you from what? You can do that yourself. Keep your eye focused on the windshield. Keep a focus on where you're going, because you've already been where you've been. So you can't do nothing about that. Look at where you're going. And so you can have a better, you know, opportunities to get stuff done in your life going forward, and fix what you can in the past. If there's something back there that's just egregious, then do something about it. But don't keep going back there, because it's not good. It keeps us bogged down in too many accidents. I think there's been a whole lot of accidents looking back too much, whole lot of accidents. And we can avoid those too if we just stop looking back so much. I'm not saying we shouldn't. There's stuff to learn. I'm not saying we shouldn't learn, but I'm just saying the folks that these people keep having on other people we can't keep defending them because we don't know them. I don't know Elijah, and I don't know all of them. And it doesn't matter whether you know them or not. They're okay where they are now. Just leave them alone. Don't keep resurrecting them and trying to make them, relevant for today. I mean, it's time. We got to grow up and keep moving. Anyway, that's my 2 cents for what it's worth.
No, I agree. We have to learn to be able to move forward. You see, here Shirley wrote, yes, they would have in the U.S. That would have been illegal if you had 2 or more wives. I mean, I don't believe there were his wives. That's what Farrakhan and others have said. To try to I'm gonna say clean up, but there's this saying we have in French. In French, like to smoothen the angles, but I forgot the equivalent in English. But he still had children from his secretaries. He still had extramarital affairs. But once again, if a person has several wives, Akon has several wives, but of course he can only marry one legally. Some people may marry 2, but eventually people will find out, and then the person's going to get in trouble. They might do that in different states. But usually, people have several wives that live in America, and they will only marry one wife legally, and the rest, they will be like religious or ceremonial or traditional marriages. Once again, we can look at the Mormons. They're known to have several wives.
Yeah, you could maybe have one wife on paper, but you could have several girlfriends. You know what I'm saying? So at one time, trust me, I know.
Have you seen that boxer at the end of the fight? I think he won the fight. He said, "Yeah, I want to say hello to my wife, to my girlfriend."
Yeah, when he slipped up, I think he didn't mean to say it, but it came up by mistake.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Mm-hmm.
It's like
yeah, man,
the
Shaka,
movie. Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
man,
Go
I
on.
was just going to say, do what you gotta do. Take a week off. Take 2 weeks off. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Yeah, do a study, come back and punch them in their mouth with a awesome presentation, whatever you choose. You know what I mean? Like, live your life, man. Like people get too caught up in these beliefs, like I keep saying. Reality is the best experience. Like you better
Yeah.
take advantage with it, because everybody, just like the ones that's gone before you, you will be that one day. You know what I'm saying? So don't get it twisted. No matter what you think you believe in, we all came from our mother, and we all
Yeah.
need to go back in the dirt, one day. So it is what it is. No matter what you believe, life is life, reality is reality, and the best experience is nature. You can't beat
Mm-hmm.
it. So
Yeah, and get
Yes.
you some rest because we know you're tired. I mean, I mean, it's just, this thing it's an ongoing battle. It's with the pedophilia and all this stuff. That's going to be something that's going to be out there that we're going to have to continue to just, to be diligent about. And you don't need to be getting exhausted because we can look at you sometimes and see that you're really tired, like you are right now. And go ahead and get you some rest. I mean, because all you got is your one body, and we'll be fine. We will be fine. We got our big girl panties on. We good.
Thanks to both of you, young Hero and Andrea Burnett. I'm not gonna even put a outro. I'm sorry. I'm not even gonna put the outro today. I'm just gonna, end the last stream like that, But yeah, thank you. Yeah,
You're welcome.
It's like it's only 1:43, but it's an accumulation of all those days, having little sleep.
Yeah.
And I felt it at work, I felt
Mm-hmm.
it at work. But there's a French speaker here in the place to be. Hey, comment ça va? Une prochaine fois, là, je vais terminer le live. Je connais des francophones, mais ils peuvent venir. All right. Well, brothers and sisters, my closing remarks. Stay safe, stay healthy. If I'm allowed to by the next year, I will definitely holler back at you. I don't argue, I state facts. If you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem. Do I do Hotel.
All right.